I've personally closed over $3.5 million in high ticket sales in the past 1.5 years. I've been a setter, I've been a closer, I've been a sales manager on offers doing hundreds of thousands of dollars per month. I've hit the $30,000, $40,000 month commissions. I've worked with some of the biggest names in the info space and also helped hundreds of people quit their 9-to-5 to do this full time, so I know for a fact this works. So today I'm gonna reveal absolutely everything I've learned from not only working as a closer, but also spending over $50,000 in sales education. This took me a lot of time and energy to make, so please respectfully take notes on this video, thumbs up it and save it for later. If you're the type of person that can't lock in for a few hours, this industry might not be for you. High ticket sales is actually pretty easy to break into if you have the right guidelines and have the right info. So the curriculum in this video is structured with absolutely no fluff, just everything you need to get started as someone with zero experience. Module 1 is just going to be what is high ticket sales? What is the current state of the industry? How much can you get paid? What products are you selling? Just everything from A to Z on what the industry is. Step 2 is going to be the mindset and traits of the best high ticket closers I've seen in the space currently, the actions that they take, what type of personalities they have, what they do on a day-to-day basis, and just an overall success manifesto. And then module 3 is going to how to actually be good at sales, how to be a good appointment setter, how to be a good closer. And we're also gonna give you guys live call recordings of a real setting call, a real closing call to see what it looks like to close someone for $5,000 paid in full in like a 30-minute span. And the last module is how to actually find jobs and land your first role to be able to use these skill sets we just taught you in this video and go do it for yourself and start to make some commission. So this is everything you need, zero fluff. I've also left timestamps down below so you guys can jump from place to place if you just want to see some live calls or just skip through whatever's the most relevant for your situation. So put this on full screen, pay attention, let's dive into it. Crack some caffeine. We're going to start with the first curriculum with what is high ticket sales. In this section, we're going to break down what products do we sell in high ticket sales, how much can you make in high ticket sales, how long does it take you to make your first commissions and land a role, and overall everything updated about the industry as of right now. So how does high ticket sales actually work? E-learning industry is absolutely massive. It's worth about $300 to $400 billion right now, and it's projected to reach over $680 billion by 2033, which is absolutely insane. Any sort of online business or coaching program like this, everyone knows who this is. Obviously, TJR Trades, he sells a program on how to get better at day trading. So you start with any sort of online business, like a coaching program, anything like this. This dude brings in leads with ads or content, he brings a lot of potential clients or leads in that maybe want to learn from him. So in the bio of his video, he has something like this: join my blueprint program. You guys have probably seen this before. Join my accelerator program, join my elite roundtable, join my something program, where they're basically running a mentorship or coaching program in their bio of every single YouTube video. Now, a certain percentage of people watching these YouTube videos will click on that link and potentially want to learn from this professional in this industry, right? This goes for anything. It could be day trading, it could be freelance brand scaling, it could be how to start ice skating, it could be anything, because anyone that's professional in their industry is gonna post content online and attract people that wanna get better at that industry. So it'd be dumb for these people not to wanna learn from these guys. Once the potential clients watch this YouTube video and fill out their link in bio and ask them for their phone number and their email, once they give their phone number and their email, they will get reached out to by one of the high ticket closers, which is me and you watching this video. Obviously, TJR Trades has no time to reach out to the thousands of clients that are clicking this link in his bio. So he hires people like me and you and other people that are well-spoken to take these calls on his behalf. So your whole job is to just explain what the client's going to get out of the coaching program. You collect the payments, they're happy, you give them access to the coaching program, the business gets the money, and in return, you get a commission from the business. Usually this is 10 to 20% depending on what role you have. So that's a general breakdown of what high ticket sales is and how you're capitalizing off the e-learning market. So how much can you actually make in high ticket sales? This right here is a screenshot of when I was a full-time high ticket closer. I was taking about 12 to 15 calls a day. These are hour-long calls, so I was working for like 12 to 15 hours a day. It was about 4.5 weeks. I took 392 calls. I cash collected $436,000, which made me $43,000 in commissions straight to my bank. All right, I was the number one closer here. I was closing at 57% rate. So I've really done this. So the $43,000 months, I've seen people make upwards of $100,000 a month in commissions, but that's on the 1% high end. But it wasn't always like this. It varied. This week I closed $43,000, so I made $4,000 this week. This was when I first started. Some days I would make $500. Now from $43,000 months, 500 days, $4,000 weeks, I was able to do a lot of stuff. I was able to buy my dream cars, dream watches. I was able to get my dream apartment that I'm currently in recording this video. But fuck all the material stuff. None of that stuff really matters. And I'll show you guys examples of students that have just gotten into the space and how much they're making. But the reason you should want to do this and make a lot of money is not for the material stuff. It should be for the freedom. Be able to take your family out, be able to travel whenever you want. That stuff is 10 times more important than the material stuff. Obviously, I think you should try the material stuff out when you first start to make money. But let me show you guys some real examples of people that were similar to me in numbers that they were making in high ticket sales. So this is my buddy Will. I have a case study on this YouTube breaking down his sort of process, but he made $9,000 in commissions his first ever calendar month on his offer. If you guys want to see that video, you could scroll down on my YouTube. I literally break down his whole entire process of how he started, the prior skill sets that he had, what he did. We placed him on an offer from our network. Tanner, within 2 weeks of starting high ticket sales, is on an offer doing $300,000 per month. So at a 5% commission as a setter, he'll make about 10 to 15K on this first offer. Lucas, less than 2 weeks, also starting high ticket sales. He made his first $300 sale. Jet Rose, one of our students inside of our program, was doing $450 days. Micah right here was doing $1,500 every 3 days. So you're probably asking yourself, these are random people. How long will it take me to actually land a role and make commissions? Well, it really depends. From me attempting to land a role to making my first commission took me about 3 weeks. From really finding out about the industry to making my first paycheck in my bank account took me about 3 weeks. I tracked my whole thing on Twitter. I was able to quit my job as a server, which I'm about to show you guys. This was literally me 3 weeks before making my first commission check, and I never looked back after this. My first month as a high ticket sales rep, I made $2,500 commission. Like I said, I tracked it all on my Twitter. I have all the receipts and everything. My second month, I made $6,000. My third month, I made $9,800. And within 6 months of finding out about this industry, I was doing over $30,000 a month in commission. Overall, disclaimer, it really depends on your situation, right? There are people that come into this industry like me and within 6 months are able to hit $30,000 months. There are people that come into this industry and they don't train very hard. They don't do a bunch of outreach to land jobs. They don't do the highest leverage tasks possible, which I'm going to show you guys in this video on how to do. They continually just get jobs that are not vetted and they're not ran by good people because they don't know how to identify a good offer versus a bad one. Majority of people that really invest time into themselves and really want to do this the right way will see their first win, which is like some sort of commission paycheck, whether it's $100, $300, $1,000 within their first 4 weeks starting high ticket sales. Now, keep in mind, I don't know you watching this video at all. You could be completely fucking lazy. I have no idea. So I have the disclaimer saying that these are just the results that I've seen and also students of mine have seen. If you really follow everything in this video from A to Z, I'd be super amazed if you didn't see some sort of commission paycheck within like 4 weeks. So what sort of products are you selling? This is a very common question. What products are you selling? Are you selling SaaS? Are you selling AI products? What are you selling? First category in high ticket sales that you're selling is info products or mentorship. So for example, these are some offers that we're currently hiring for that are info products or mentorships. 40K a month closer role for a crypto trading offer. So like I showed you at the beginning of this video, people that are posting trading content like TJR and stuff are constantly looking for reps to help them close their trading coaching. Coaching offers are a huge part of high ticket sales. Right here is an 8K a month closer position for an Airbnb offer. So basically teaching people how to invest into Airbnb. Right here's a 10K a month closer offer for health and fitness. So basically teaching people how to get a healthier lifestyle. So all of these are influencers that are posting content about a certain subject that they are an expert in, and then they're selling a mentorship or guide on how to do it better. Number 2 is services. So for example, teaching people how to grow on YouTube. This is a done for you brand offer. They basically come into a clothing brand, they install certain systems, and basically implement systems into someone's businesses and grow it. This right here is a 10K a month offer for lead gen. So they basically go into a business and help them generate leads with AI. So it's not really teaching, it's more you go into a business and you do a service for them. So that's also something that you could become a high ticket sales rep for as well. And then the last one is software as a service or a SaaS. This right here is a 20K a month closer position for a construction SaaS offer. So basically they go to construction companies and say, hey, I have this software that basically answers your emails or does invoicing for you or does something for that company. And let's just say it's like $500 a month SaaS and you as the high ticket closer is getting 10% recurring. Make $50 a sale every time you sell this SaaS to a construction company. Now keep in mind, they also give you the leads. So you don't have to like call random people. They literally give you leads of construction companies. You'll sell them into the software that they have, and then you get a percentage of everything you sell. So those are basically the 3 categories. It's very simple. The most common one and the ones that I prefer are the info products or mentorship space. And reason being is because there's so much trust with the influencers. If people have been watching influencers for months and months and months, it's going to be a much easier sale rather than some sort of SaaS or other service or product that has a little bit less credibility. When I was making $30,000 to $40,000 a month, as I showed you guys, that was for an info product mentorship. Now you guys are probably wondering, who is buying these mentorships? Who is buying thousands of dollars worth of services or crypto trading mentorships, etc.? People like me, people like you. You guys have probably bought mentorships or courses online as well. Right here, I just bought a mentorship for $4,500, and I also bought a $15,000 mentorship 2 weeks ago to basically help myself with skill sets that I want to get better at, like investing, real estate. I'm constantly looking to invest into myself because if there's an expert in an industry that knows so much more than me, it It'd be stupid of me not to invest a little bit of money for him to just tell me everything he's learned over years and years. So what are the different positions in high ticket sales? So like a restaurant job, there's the server, there's the hostess, there's the waitress, there's a few different jobs. I want to break down those different positions in high ticket sales. Number one is going to be the setter, the appointment setter. Number two is the closer. And number three is management or leadership roles. So there's two different types of setters. There's a DM setter, someone that goes into the Instagrams. So imagine TJR Trades post something on a story. Hey, if you guys want to learn trading the right way, swipe up. You guys have probably seen people do that, or send me like a keyword. So a DM setter will be in TJR's DMs, basically selling people from that point. A phone setter is someone when it says YouTube video I showed you guys where it says link in bio, it asks them for their phone number. The phone setter calls up those leads. The closer is the guy that the setter books for once they find a qualified lead, whether that's in the DMs, the phone setter. Once they find someone that really wants to do this, they're a good fit, they have money to invest, they throw it on the closer's calendar, and the closer's job is to collect the payment and finalize the sale. And then there's management and leadership roles. Management and leadership basically hire the closers, help hire the setters, and usually they have a better overall idea of what's going on in the sales process. I started as a setter for a few months, made 5 to 6K a month, moved to closer, made upwards of 30 to 40K a month. Then I moved up to management to help these offer owners basically recruit. I had such a broad overview of the whole process that I could help them basically find better reps, train them better, and just help the overall company make more money. Now the pay structure for these are pretty different. Setter usually gets commission only, or they get base and commission. So I was getting commission only. I got 5%. You usually get 3 to 5% commission on cash collected. And then sometimes they give you a base pay $500 to $2,000 a month plus commission, but it really depends on the offer. Closers get 10 to 15% commission on cash collected, plus usually bonuses. So hey, Colby, if you collect $10,000 this week, we'll throw you an extra $500. This is usually always commission only. And then management and leadership is usually some sort of company equity, 5% of everything that the sales team generates. So you're motivated to make sure that they're led the right way, you're hiring the right people, and they're actually trained up because you get a small percent of everything they make. Now, you're probably asking, this is a very common question, why start high ticket sales instead of starting a business? Well, you should eventually start a business. Starting a business is the best thing to possibly do once you feel like you're in the position to do so. So what I always recommend everyone does, they get a high ticket sales position in an industry that they want to start a business in the future. So let's just say you're super big into fitness and you want to make fitness content in the future and start some sort of fitness coaching brand. It would be in your best interest to start as a high ticket sales rep for one of these massive fitness coaches so you could see how their whole operation works. You could see how the whole infrastructure works. You could see their content scheduling. You can see how the content they post affects the leads that they bring in. You get to see a massive business operate and you get paid to do so. It's almost like a paid internship. So I was in sales for about a year and a half before starting my business. And the reason I started my business is because I had such a keen overview of how these massive 8-figure companies work. So I figured, I could easily do this once I've seen it in and out. Now you can go ahead and start your own business, but you are going to get lapped by guys that have already had the experience. They've been in sales. They know how to sell the right way. Someone that started in sales and then starts a business versus someone that has never started in sales and has no experience, the dude in sales is going to lap the other dude time and time and time again, because not only do they know how to sell their product the right way, but they also know how the sales structure works. They know how setters work, how closers work. They understand where the leads come in, the back end stuff. So a lot of the times the sales guys are even smarter than the business owners because they actually see every single prospect. To me, it was an absolute no-brainer. I did it myself. You guys can do whatever you want. But from what I've seen in the past, every guy that started in sales that then started a business was 10 times more successful. Now, why high ticket sales over other sales industries? You guys probably see all these life insurance dudes and like pest control guys trying to recruit. So I'm going to break down each industry unbiasedly. First sales industry that's pretty popular is door-to-door sales. You can actually make a lot of money in door-to-door, but the problem is you're doing fucking door-to-door. You got to go knock on people's doors that don't want to talk to you and potentially get a gun pulled on you. Location freedom is absolutely zero. Time freedom is zero. And the ease is pretty damn zero because you're talking to leads that are really cold leads. Car sales. Financial freedom is medium. I heard you can make a decent amount of money, but a lot of my closers that transition to high ticket sales came from car sales and they said it's night and day. They said it's a night and day difference. Corporate sales, this is like the college guys. Corporate sales, this is like the college guys. Financial freedom is high. You can make a ton of money. Location freedom is medium. Time freedom is medium. But the ease is super hard. The bar for this is really high. And there's so many people right now that are currently going that direction. So unless you're willing to grind for 8.5 to 10 years to really start to see a couple $100,000 a year, probably not for you. Insurance sales, financial freedom is high if you have a team under you. If you can figure out a way to recruit a bunch of guys under you, almost like a pyramid scheme sort of thing, there is a lot of upside. But that's playing a different game, right? It doesn't really have to do with sales at that point. You just have to figure out how to get people under you. Real estate sales, location freedom, time freedom is low. Ease is, I would honestly put the ease at hard.
really hard to get started. They say the top 1% of real estate agents make all the money. And then for high ticket sales, the biggest thing, financial freedom is very high. You can make a lot of money quickly. The location freedom is unlimited, which was massive for me. Time freedom is medium because you are still on calls, and the ease, I would say, is honestly medium. So you guys can do with this info as you wish, but for me personally, once I really did an overview of every single sales industry, high ticket sales just made the most sense for me. As far as location and financial freedom, those were the two things that I valued the most. So depending on you, for me personally, for my lifestyle, being able to travel, I just went to Europe all last summer. I'm about to go to Europe this summer again. And just the ease of being able to make money from anywhere is really just something I value a lot. Now, should you stay in your industry longer before breaking into high ticket sales? Well, it's really up to you at the end of the day. But the fact that you're even watching videos like this and trying to break into something different means that you're probably going to make a decision to leave your industry at some point, because if you were super happy with your industry, you probably wouldn't be looking for other things. It's kind of like staying in a toxic relationship. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but at the end of the day, the longer you stay in it, the harder it's going to be to leave. That's why I'm very blessed to always have shitty jobs. I was working at a restaurant. I worked at Topgolf for a little bit. And so I've never really had a really good corporate job. So it was super easy for me to leave and just do high ticket sales, especially when I was making like 10 to 15K a month after 3-4 months. So it really just depends. But I will say, if you're watching this video, there is probably some sort of pain points that you're dealing with. And if the location freedom and financial freedom can fix that, kind of a no-brainer. Now, can you do high ticket sales with previous experience? You don't really need exact experience, but you have to ask yourself, what advantages do you have, right? If you're competing with people that do have experience, what advantages do you have? Are you very personable? Are you very extroverted? Do you look really good on camera? They aren't necessarily always looking for experience, but do your research, do your training. Watching videos like this are great. I'm gonna give you guys sales training and stuff for free, but if you don't have experience, you're definitely gonna have to use your strong points a little bit harder than everyone else. When I started, I had zero experience. I was just so confident and convicted that I knew I could do this for a fact. And so convicted, I knew I could do this if I just tried, so they hired me anyway. Now, can I do this part-time and weekends? There are part-time offers. There are DM setting offers that you can do part-time to make 3 to 5K a month. I had a 16-year-old join my program. He's making 4 to 5K a month consistently while in high school. So you can do it part-time and on weekends. I would always recommend that you don't quit your job and jump straight in immediately. You should always start to see a little bit of commissions first before you jump. That's what I did. But just understand that if you are working part-time, you probably won't see those 10, 15, 20K months rather than the people that are working full-time. You'll probably just see 3 to 5K. Isn't high ticket sales saturated? So many people are talking about it. I'll put it this way. There are more influencers and experts making content on certain stuff, dropping mentorships, courses, coaching programs, than there are people starting in the high ticket sales space. Think about it. Everyone's trying to be an influencer right now. Not many people are trying to become a sales rep. Yes, there are people doing research about high ticket sales. There's more influencers than there is high ticket sales reps. So supply and demand is always going to be off. There's always going to be a demand for high ticket sales reps. That's why in my program, I get like 40 to 50 different influencers hit me up every day saying, hey, Colby, do you have this setter? Do you have this closer? I literally don't have enough sales reps to fulfill how many people ask me for jobs. Now, do I need to buy or generate my own leads? No, just like I went over in this video, it's the company's job that you work for or the influencer's job to generate all the leads. So all you have to do is literally just get leads booked to your calendar every day or get leads in the DMs every day. And then you just respond to them and sell them. So it's always inbound leads. Should I be a setter or closer first? I always recommend become a setter first, because once you become a closer, you're gonna wanna know what you're looking for out of a setter. So if you start as a setter and you have that skill set really down, it's gonna be a lot easier for you to move up to management later and just have a broad overview of the whole system. So glad I started as a setter, because the second I moved to closer, I knew exactly what to tell my setter to do for me. So it was really easy, and if I didn't have that skill set, I probably would have seen less success as a closer. How do I know if high ticket sales is for me? You don't. No one does. No one knows if it's for you. I didn't know if it was for me. When content creators first start, they don't know if content's for them. When fitness guys first go to the gym, they don't know if the gym's for them. They just go and they just see if they like it. They just have a little bit of a feeling in their head they might be good at it. They go that direction, and then stuff just starts to happen. Action is the greatest way to clear confusion, right? So if you're like, oh man, I want to be a content creator. I don't know if I should do this. Is it for me? And then you just pick up your phone and just post 4 TikToks and just see how they do. Way better way to clear your head and just understand what direction you want to go, rather than just sitting there and asking questions like, oh, I don't know if it's for me. If you're watching videos like this and you have a slight feeling that you feel like you could do it, just try to go in that direction and see if it's for you. But to answer the question a little bit more clearly, I would say that if you have an entrepreneurial brain or you have like some sort of desire to not work for anyone else in the future, I would highly recommend doing this, because this is going to give you the skill sets and it's also going to give you the network to be able to do that in the future. If you're the type of person that's pretty content with making 5, 6, 7K a month, working for someone else, getting a schedule handed to you, I wouldn't say it's for you. I would say it's really for people that want more out of life. That's like a general trait that I see in most people that get into the game. is they just want more out of life. Will sales reps get replaced by AI? Out of every industry to worry about this is not the one to worry, because as you guys can probably see with ChatGPT and everything, they still don't understand certain human cues like sarcasm, some sort of emotional cues. They still don't understand those things. So maybe DM setters will get replaced in the future, but as of right now, face-to-face Zoom closers with human connection will 100% not get replaced in the near future. I've even talked to some of my buddies that are huge into the AI space, and they said it's not even close. And if that does happen, where fully emotional aware sales robots are there, then I think the whole world's cooked. But they said it's not even close. So I think this is one of those industries that luckily doesn't have to worry about that. Show you guys some of the demand. These are my DMs from the past month. Hey bro, I have an organic trading offer launching at the end of the month. It's gonna do like 50 to 70K and I need a closer. So that closer I'm making anywhere from like 5 to 7K first month. Yo, Colby, I need some closers. Hey, Colby, I need some closers for an offer. Hey, I need a closer for a trading offer. I get these DMs all days, and these are pretty big dudes in the space. These are offers that are going to end up doing like 500K, 600K a month. So just working for these offers and working for really high level people like this is just the bridge to entrepreneurship. It's just something that's really essential if you want to do well and go into entrepreneurship down the line. If I personally had a time machine, I would start high ticket sales at like 18 instead of trying to start a bunch of businesses on my own. Like I tried to do drop shipping at first. I tried to start a lawn care company. I tried to start like construction flooring business, just a bunch of bullshit that I had no idea what I was doing because I didn't know how business worked, right? I just didn't understand the fundamentals of business. So starting in sales allowed me to get the whole fundamental aspect of what sales is, how does business work, how do I get a stranger to give me money? Those are all the traits that I'll take with me for the rest of my life. And same with these people that I've showed you. Like this kid Brody right here, this dude is 17 years old. He's on an offer right now, and he's also had 3 interviews with massive companies in the past week. You don't see this with college kids. Don't come out of college and just get like 4 interviews with massive companies. Nettie right here started in our program less than a month ago, and he already got his first offer as a closer. Lily right here graduated college, had no job, nothing like that, joined our program, paid in full. Got her first interview today and landed a 10K a month closing position. These people obviously are in my program. So for the people that are reaching out to me, we directly give our students these offers. So this is kind of a different scenario, but I'm still gonna teach you guys how to land an offer. So if you guys want access to guaranteed offers, you can click the link down below. We have hundreds of offers we're currently hiring for right now.
So now you guys understand the basics of high ticket sales. So let's get into our success manifesto. What do you guys actually need? What's the mindset you need? I'm gonna give you guys the mindset breakdown of top performers like myself and other people I've seen do really, really well, so you guys potentially can replicate their success.
Very important. This is one of the key factors I've seen on people that end up getting into this industry. We're about to make a shitload of money, but then quit because they didn't have the right mindset. So when it really comes down to high ticket sales reps mindsets, the biggest separator between top performers and average sales reps is their mindset. The scripts, the leads, the products, that's all important. But a dude that really wants to make money versus a dude that doesn't, the guy who really wants to get paid is gonna go a lot further than the guy that just kind of wants to get paid. I promise you that. So first thing you guys need to do before absolutely anything is shift your mindset to stop thinking like an employee. Technically, as a high ticket sales rep, you are kind of an employee. You're working on behalf of an influencer, but you cannot think that way. You have to act like you're an intrapreneur, basically helping this person grow their business from the inside out. Most people come into the sales game with this mentality. You show up, you put in your hours, you get paid regardless of your output. You no longer are working a 9 to 5. You are a commission-based sales rep, which means you get paid on the value you provide, which is a really, really good thing. This is gonna teach you guys a lot about business, and it's very important to have a job with this sort of commission structure, because as a closer or setter, you're not just trading your time for money, you're building your own business inside someone else's. Every call you take is an opportunity to make money. Every pipeline you have with all the leads in it is your personal asset. That's your personal pipeline of money, and every result is your responsibility. It's completely up to you. So if you think like an entrepreneur, how do I maximize all the commissions I can get? How do I improve every single day? How do I create more opportunities out of these leads? You're gonna rise faster than 90% of people in this industry. The biggest fear for everybody is, oh, it's commission only. So for most people, that sounds terrifying. They want a base pay. There's no safety net. But the truth is that is a gift. That is an absolute blessing. And the second I heard that this industry was commission only, I was so beyond happy because I knew that I could now control my income. This now puts you in full control, okay? You no longer have to make $3,000 to $5,000 a month like a regular job. You guys just saw my come up story. I went from literally working at a restaurant to making $4,000 to $5,000 a week in the matter of like 6 months. That's unbelievable. No other job can do that. If you can close deals the right way, you literally write your own paycheck every single month. Most people are afraid of commission because they secretly doubt their ability to perform. Let's be real. If you're sitting here asking, hey, can I get a base pay, this and that, you are literally just telling me that you are not confident in your ability to perform, which is okay. You got to learn the skill set first. So you just got to, first of all, reframe your mindset to realize that commission only is freedom. You literally can choose your paycheck every single month. That is an absolute blessing. Number two, a lot of people freak out about is rejection in sales, okay? You're gonna get rejected a lot. You're gonna get a lot of doors slammed in your face. You're gonna get a lot of phone calls hung up on you, but top closers see rejection as money in the bank, and here's what I mean. If your close rate is 1 out of 5, every single no just moves you a step closer to yes. So if your average deal pays you $2,000 and you close 1 in 5, every rejection is technically worth $400. Yes, you should try to close every single deal you can, but at the end of the day, if you're closing at like a 30-40%, every single no is just one step closer to a yes. So just understand that rejection is gonna happen inevitably. Not every person you hop on the phone with is gonna buy, but just learn something from every call and just know you're one step closer to that commission. When you're first getting into this industry, success isn't gonna happen when you're closing a $10,000 deal your first day. Success is gonna happen from building the right habits daily. So you're gonna wanna do mock calls. Every single day you're showing up, you're gonna wanna do practice calls. If you're not practicing, you're gambling. Because at the end of the day, all the prospects end up saying the same thing. If they don't wanna buy, they need to think about it, they need to talk to their wife. So just practice. Every single day you should be doing mock calls. You should be role playing with a partner, with a friend of yours that's also ambitious. You should be recording yourself. The goal isn't to sound perfect, but it's to build muscle memory. So when they say certain things, you respond with certain things and end up to get the sale. When you're in a real sales call, the words come out naturally, not like you're reading lines. The words start to come out like you're reading a script, which eventually when I show you guys a live call in this video, you're gonna see what I mean. You're kind of screwed, okay? If you sound like you're reading a script or you sound like AI, you're absolutely cooked. You wanna talk to them like you're a friend and like you're helping them get to where they wanna go. Number two is script reading, okay? Many beginners underestimate this. They're gonna say, oh, you don't wanna just read a script the whole time, but you're gonna wanna know the script so you understand the rules in order to break it. So read the script every single day. I'm literally gonna give you guys a free script that you can use for appointment setting and closing. It's not to memorize it word for word, but it's to understand why each line is there. Understand why are we asking the questions that we ask? Why do we transition there? When you see the logic, you're gonna start to understand it. We're asking people, why haven't they taken action in the past with day trading? You're not asking that question word for word. You're asking that question in order to get a certain answer to where, oh, they haven't taken action because they've been scared or they haven't taken action because they didn't have time. You want a certain answer to the questions. You just want to read the script to understand why you're asking certain questions. And the more you read that script, the more it's going to kind of click. And number three is going to be track your numbers. Every single day you should be tracking your numbers. Okay. This is where most beginners fall apart. They think sales is about charisma or luck, which it can be, but sales is actually math. How many calls you booked? How many showed up? How many did you close? You'll have no idea on what to improve. So when you start to track daily patterns, let's just say you did 100 dials for an influencer. You're going to write down with a pen 100 dials. You're going to write down, okay, 50 picked up. You're going to say I had 15 good conversations and I'm going to have, let's just say 6 calls booked. You're going to want that data every single day so that over time, you're going to have an exact idea of patterns of what you can fix on a day-to-day basis on what made a good conversation versus a bad one. Like for example, maybe you're great at booking appointments, but you're weaker at financially qualifying them. Or maybe you're great at building rapport, but you're really bad at handling objections. There's going to be certain things you're going to want to note. So just make sure that you track your numbers, you track your progress, because that's really what's going to improve you. Even if you suck for the first month, 2 months, but you know all the data, you're going to have everything you need to improve as quick as possible. So at the end of the day, if you guys can take away anything from the mindset, it's do these 3 things every single day when you're first starting, and also understand that there are dumber people than you making more commissions than you. Okay, understand that. There are people that aren't doing research, right? So you clicked on this video, you're taking notes on it, you're actually trying to get into this industry. There are people that stumbled upon this industry accidentally and they're making commissions right now. So you watching this video right now are further along than most people in this industry. Just understand that you are coming for someone's position and you will take it from them, because there are people that are not doing their homework every day. They're not doing mock calls. They're not doing script readings. They're not tracking their numbers. They're just prancing around thinking that no one's going to come up and take their position. But you are here taking notes on this, watching this video. After watching these videos, you are 100% going to be skillful enough to take someone else's position. So just understand that, have that sort of killer mentality, and just know that you do not need to be a rocket scientist to get into this industry. As you guys have probably seen, I'm not a rocket scientist, and I was able to speed run this industry like my life depended on it. So just keep that in mind.
Now we are going to get into the appointment setting masterclass. This is probably one of the best appointment setting modules I've ever seen on YouTube. I've never seen someone go as in depth as I do on this. And right after this, we're going to show you a live setting call from one of my buddies that made $250 on a setting call live. Let's jump straight into this. All right, so starting it off, what is the fundamentals of appointment setting? Appointment setting is essentially the process of identifying and contacting potential clients to schedule a meeting or call with a sales rep. So your whole goal as an appointment setter is to basically filter through the people that are serious and not serious and book them a call with the closer. That is the biggest thing that you guys are doing. It is a very, very important step. What appointment setting is not, is it's definitely not a get rich quick thing. It is literally a skill that has been around for centuries. Every single business needs
needs it and someone who's actually good at it. It's also not about calling uninterested leads and trying to convert them. What I'm about to teach you guys in this industry is only about talking to leads that are already interested in what you have to buy. These are warm leads that you're talking to. And lastly, a lot of people want to say that this industry is saturated, so I'm just going to debunk that real quick because that's absolutely ridiculous. There are currently 179,000 appointment setters employed in the US, and there are over 740 appointment setting jobs available. This is probably one of the most high demand roles you can possibly imagine in the online space and probably just in the world in general because of how many influencers are popping up left and right that need appointment setters, that need sales reps. So if you can master this skill, it is literally just a matter of time before you replace your income with it. Even in our high ticket sales program, Paid in Full, we get 37 different applications every day from influencers that are looking for appointment setters. So we know for a fact that it's in demand. So to understand what an appointment setter does, you have to know what companies you're actually working for, right? So essentially there are thousands of online creators that are out there like Grant Cardone, Alex Hormozi, Andrew Huberman, and they all sell products online that range from $3,000 to $10,000. So the thing is, majority of people, including you watching this video, probably wouldn't buy something that's $3,000 to $10,000 without actually talking to a real person. So essentially what you're doing is you're taking a random viewer that's watching some of the people I just showed you guys above. You are booking them a one-to-one call with a closer, and that closer's job is to get them to buy. You are bridging the gap between the random viewer and someone who booked a call that's qualified to buy the product. The way that you get this random viewer's phone number to actually call them and book them is by these influencers using a few different strategies, okay? Like the free gift strategy. I'm sure you guys have seen this online multiple times. The creator offers something free like a mini course or an ebook in exchange for a phone number or a DM on Instagram. So I'm gonna give you guys an example of two content creators that both sell a course or product online, okay? So this lady right here, she posted a video on YouTube called Simple Marketing Strategies for 2026, Proven and Profitable. So inside this video, she drops a lot of marketing strategies for business owners and stuff like that. And then in this video, she said, if you guys wanna learn how to write better ads or you guys wanna learn how to market better, I'm gonna give you guys a free ad guide or free marketing guide down below. So basically, once you click that link in description, it's gonna ask for your phone number and your email. And everyone that watches this video, a few people are gonna sign up for that. So 15,000 views, got 1,000 signups. And so these right here are potential leads that would buy her product, okay? So these people are interested in the topic, but they're not interested in buying yet. So these are called warm leads. Your role as an appointment setter is to reach out to them via phone call or message and to basically understand their goals, their challenges, their needs, reassure them on the process, and guide them toward the paid program if it's a fit. And if they are a good fit, you hand them off to the closer who essentially finishes the sale. Very simple process. The whole reason that these creators post content is to filter actual buyers, and then once they filter buyers, the appointment setter books them, do a call with a closer, and then everyone gets paid. This guy right here posts Instagram Reels, steal viral background songs. He tells people, if you guys want a bunch of good viral songs that you can use for Instagram Reels, comment vibes. So a bunch of people are commenting vibes. Once these people comment vibes, it's the same process. You are essentially finding potential leads, and then someone inside of this guy's Instagram DMs is going to go through the same process, understand their goals, understand what they're looking for, and if they're a good fit, he's going to book them a call with the closer. It's using a free gift to find leads that would potentially buy. And then the book a call strategy, the creator will directly invite people to book a one-on-one call to learn more about their program. So this guy right here posted a video on what is copywriting, a 2.5-hour free guide for beginners. This post got 750,000 views. He asked them to book a call with him if he actually wants to learn copywriting the right way. These people are pretty much interested in buying the product. These are called hot leads. But the catch is that people are still nervous, okay? This is an expensive product. It's $3,000 to $10,000. Some people aren't qualified, so they might have the wrong profile, or they might just fill out the phone call without actually having any money. So your role as an appointment setter is all the people that actually booked a call, you reach out to them, you call them on the phone, you reassure them, you check if they're qualified, you make sure they actually show up to the call, and if they're not a good fit, you cancel the call, and if they are a good fit, you continue the call and you add notes to the closer. So you're probably wondering, well, how are you paid out? If the closer is collecting the money, how does the appointment setter actually get paid? So in this industry, an appointment setter usually earns about 5% of the program's price when a client buys. So if someone right here commented vibes and then you convince them to hop on a call with the closer and they bought the $3,000 program, you would make $150 per sale that the closer closes. Now you're probably wondering, oh, well, I don't want to depend on a closer. Most likely, if a closer is in that position, they're talented, they're skilled, they're going to get the job done as long as you can qualify the lead. Now let's look at some actual realistic numbers as an appointment setter. So let's just say as an appointment setter, you booked the closer 200 calls a month for a $3,000 course. The closer closes at just 25% of those people that you booked. The closer would close $150,000 cash collected, and you would make 5% of that, so $7,500 that month in commission. So that's a pretty realistic number that you can hit. It depends on your skill set, but that's literally what happens time and time again if you're placed on a good offer as an appointment setter that has consistent lead flow, right? So if this video got no views, it'd be hard to get lead flow. So we're gonna get into how to actually find a creator later in this video, which there are hundreds of these type of creators. You're gonna have unlimited lead flow to call leads and book them for the closer. And you're probably wondering, why do these people get paid that much?
if they're such a small level job for the business. The reason is they're actually super important for the business. They're actually the first contact of the people that potentially are going to give them money. The setter is the first person that anyone talks to. It's a really big risk for the business. So if you're not super well spoken and you're not really trained up and you don't actually care about the business, they're not going to keep you on the team for a long time. So with that being said, there are very few good appointment setters in the market, which makes them very, very valuable. So if you're watching this video and you're well spoken, you're willing to work hard, you potentially could be one of those people that's very important for a business. And so yeah, it's easier said than done. So when should you expect results watching this video? If you take action today with this industry, you 100% could replace your 9-to-5 income within 90 days. You'll make your first check within the next 30 days. And I'm not just making this up. This is what's happened to every single person who applied what I'm about to share with you. Here's actual proof from people inside of our program. Nathan made $1,100 his first week on an offer. Corey Cash collected $15,000. So 5% of that as a setter is about $750 in just a week. Jackson landed his first appointment setting offer. Joe made 33 cash collected. 5% as an appointment setter is about $1,500, which is a little over $1,500. And we have hundreds and hundreds more. This is not a joke. This is just a single week inside of our program because appointment setting is such an in-demand thing once you have the skill set. So how to set like a salesperson with over 3 years of experience. Believe it or not, most appointment setters on the market are really bad and ineffective. Just most people don't know about this industry. So the people that are actually good haven't started appointment setting yet. They don't even know what it is. But I'm making this video today to help you guys watching this video become an appointment setter that actually makes money so that you guys can be a valuable asset to this industry. So I'm gonna give you guys the setting frameworks, DM setting and phone setting framework that actually converts people into sales, a playbook to handle every objection as an appointment setter, 5 rules to be a top performer in any team, and then actual practical exercises you guys could use. So first things first, do you want to be a DM setter or a phone setter? You have to choose one or the other. They're very, very similar. It's just one is through text and one is through phone. DM setting, the difficulty is a lot harder. Phone setting is a lot easier. So overall, I would say the difficulty on appointment setting is a little bit harder because you can't really read the person through text. It's a lot easier to read them through the phone. The flexibility is about the same. The demand and competition is about the same. The earnings and progressions, however, you can make way more money as a phone setter and you can move up and gain the skill set of a closer a lot quicker. So I would recommend a DM setter if you're starting out or working a 9-to-5 or English isn't your first language. I would start phone setting if you have time because it's the quickest way to make like $50,000 plus in sales. So I'm gonna start off by giving you guys the DM setting framework that allows my students that work in 9-to-5 to make anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 a month. So I'm gonna give you guys a 4-step structure that works in every single DM and how to set these prospects pretty quickly through the DMs. So step number 1 is build an emotional connection and trust with whoever you're talking through on the other side of the DM. You guys are talking to these people through text. They don't know you, they don't trust you, so you have to build an emotional connection with them. This step is the key that'll help you move on to the next 4 steps. So number 1 is create a connection with the prospect, okay? If you don't build trust, you'll be stuck with someone who doesn't want to answer your questions and just give you a hard time. So if you're in a creator's DMs and someone DMs you, your goal is to convert them onto a booked call. So step number 1 is going to be, let's just say they send you something like this. How do I do good outreach? Hey, can you send me your free value? How much does your program cost? You want to get them to start talking. You don't want to ask them for anything yet. You want to give them that free value. If you're selling a sales program, you want to ask them what got you interested in sales in the first place. You just want to get them to open up and just start to talk. This is an example of something that they could say. This is a live example, by the way, guys. Honestly, I got into sales because I love the idea of building a skill that can open doors anywhere. I enjoy talking to people and I want a career where my income grows based on my effort. So as you guys saw, you want him to talk and not just necessarily get crucial info yet. You want to take him from a stranger in his DMs to a real person he's actually excited to have a conversation with. Step number 2 is uncover their pain point. Okay, so once you get them to start talking, you want to find some sort of pain point on why they're reaching out. 50% of your job as an appointment setter is finding a pain point that these people actually have, because if they didn't have any pain points, they wouldn't be reaching out asking for stuff. So create a real conversation where this prospect opens up like he would with a friend. So you want to split your prospect that you're talking to into 2 types to target them better. Okay, experienced with whatever you're selling or unexperienced with whatever you're selling. So this right here is a sales program that they're selling for an influencer. So after that, he said, cool, man, just so I'm not assuming, what were you looking for help with in terms of sales? So majority of these people are going to be inexperienced in whatever product you're selling. That's why they're reaching out in the first place. Once you ask them what they're looking for in terms of XYZ, this is sales, for example, I'm struggling with doing outreach and landing sales offers through it. So you want to kind of back up and say, what are they doing right now that makes them want to learn sales in the first place? Right now, I'm working as a server. I'm not making much money out of it. I'd love to get into remote sales. So you have to find their pain points and why they actually want to do this in the first place. So you want to say something along the lines of, how long have you been working at your job for? And you can add something at the front of this, like, out of curiosity, how long have you been working at your job, to make it sound smoother? And then the next question is, you want to ask them if they actually enjoy doing their job. So this can get a little weird because you don't want to just come at them like, do you like doing your job? Because they're going to be like, why is this person asking me this? So you can ask something along the lines of, do you feel fulfilled in what you're doing? Or you can say something along the lines of, how much longer do you kind of want to be in this job position? Is sales something you want to do full time? Just so you can kind of get them to open open up about how they actually feel about their job. So they're going to say something along the lines of, I do like it, or I don't like it. If they say they don't like it, you can ask something like, what makes you say that? I feel like a slave working there. Since when? Pain points discovered. The whole point of this entire conversation is to get the pain point, okay? And if they're saying they do like about it, I have bills to pay, so I can't quit. If there's one thing to change about it, what would it be? I love to make more money, but I also love to gain freedom as well. Pain point discovered. So the whole goal of this stuff is to discover some sort of pain point, okay? So once you discover their pain point, you want to find their dream outcome. So what is their actual goal that they're looking to hit? What do you actually want to get by learning sales? I don't want to make 50K a month with this. All I want to do is make $5,000 a month to provide for my family. So you ask them right here, why change now? Because honestly, most people don't. They just stick in the same job. And they're going to say something, I've been stuck in the same situation for 2 years. I'm about to get married. I really need to change now. So these are an example. Obviously, this is a warm lead. This guy reached out to him first. So at this point, you're going to find his goal. He wants to make $5,000 a month to provide for his future family. Okay, so that's his goal. Step 4 is sell the call as the bridge. So you basically want to sell the call as the bridge and qualify him to make sure that he's actually qualified to be on this call with the closer. You want to find out how much they actually have to invest so you're not wasting the closer's time. So you hit them with exactly what you offer. We basically offer one-to-one sales training for our students, guaranteed placements. And instead of saying, does that sound like something you'd be interested in? You want to ask something along the lines of, let me make this bigger. Do you feel like this can help you get to 5K a month to quit your job and provide for your future family? So that's really going to tie the goal back into, does this program actually feel like it can help him get to that goal? And most likely, if you can tie their goal back to the actual program, they're going to say, yeah, that sounds perfect. And then obviously it requires some sort of upfront capital for training and stuff like that. So in your situation, how much do you have that you could comfortably invest if everything makes sense? Around $1,000, book the call. If they have no money, you don't book the call. Very simple. This is an example of a hotter lead, so you don't even have to go through it. The majority of the leads are going to go through this right here. So if you follow this framework to the T, you're going to be able to book a ton of calls for your closer, weed out the people that aren't actually serious about it. And so now I'm going to show you guys a DM conversation that actually converted, okay? Every single situation is a little bit different, but here's a great example of one that did end up converting. So someone DM me, hey, quick question, how do you land high ticket sales jobs? Hey G, one of the methods we use is getting into a placement group, but if you're not ready for that, outreach is your best bet. I can't really explain everything in detail because it would take a long time, so I want you to watch this quick video where I explain everything from A to Z. I'm just curious though, what made you want to get into sales? Honestly, I'm tired of working random jobs. I keep seeing people making money online and I want to give this a try. Got you, what are you doing right now that makes you want to switch? I work in a call center, super repetitive, very low pay. It's a pain point right there. Yeah, I understand you there. How long have you been doing that for? Like 2 years. And do you actually feel fulfilled there, or do you feel more like I need to get out? Nah, I hate it. I just don't know what to do instead. Makes sense. And how is that making you feel? And honestly, I would have said here, and how does that honestly make you feel, man? Just to like make it a little more personalized. Bro, it drains me. I feel like I'm wasting my 20s. I get that. And what would you want? Like, what's your ideal outcome if you got good at sales? I mean, at least 3 to 5K a month working remotely and some possibility to grow. So what we do is basically train people in sales and guarantee them placement with influencers. Does that sound like something you'd be interested in? Perfect. And then obviously it requires some sort of upfront investment. So in your situation, what would you be comfortable investing if everything makes sense? That works. So what I can do is get you on a short call with the lead coach so we can break down to see if everything's a good fit. This right here is not a perfect example of a DM set. This is one of my DM setters that actually did this. There's a few things that they could fix, but this is the general outline of what you guys could use to book hundreds of calls for your closer. So DM setting is a very entry-level position for beginners and people that work a 9 to 5, because obviously you could do this right here from anywhere. But if you guys want to make more money and be an actual phone setter, I'm going to show you guys the framework of a phone setter. So the phone setting framework is very, very similar to the DM setting framework. So I'm not going to re-explain each step. I'd rather just show you guys a live phone setting call so you can see how it works in reality. But before that, I'm going to explain the sole difference between a DM set and a phone set. So number one is going to be the opener, okay? As a DM setter, the prospect usually DMs you first, okay? So you got to address his concerns, number one. But for the phone setter, you usually call up the prospect after they filled out some sort of form. So you're going to be like, hey, name, I saw you downloaded our appointment setting training guide. What got you interested in sales? So you kind of have to switch that opener up a little bit. Then we move to the pain point, dream outcome, sell the call, qualify them with the same questions we saw earlier. So I'm going to get right into a live appointment setting call that we can analyze and break down so you guys can see exactly what it's like to hear someone do appointment setting live that actually closed. All right, so I'm going to show you guys an appointment setting call here that one of my buddies did. This is a setting call for a fitness influencer for a prospect trying to buy a fitness program. So yeah, let's jump straight into it.
Hey, Adam?
Yeah, who's that?
Yeah, it's just Roger. I saw you put in the application a couple minutes ago. Does that ring a bell?
Yes, sir.
Cool, man. So kind of what was it that you like saw or heard that made you interested in learning from?
I mean, he was like me. He was a bit skinny before he became like, big and muscular. So I feel like he could help me better than, just some regular dude,
Mm-hmm. And just so I'm not assuming, brother, like what specifically were you like looking for help on in terms of like your fitness?
So notice how it's really laid back. He's literally just talking to him like it's his friend. He's just trying to get a little bit of insight on him, get him talking, and eventually find some pain points.
What do you mean?
So obviously, like he's a physical trainer. So kind of like what were you looking to get to know some more information about?
Yeah, mostly around the diet and the calorie intake.
Got you. And like when it comes to like you said your diet, like what are you like noticing with the way you're currently doing things with your diets that makes you feel like you need to come out and get some help?
And I really eat like pretty much shit, if I can be honest.
You eat like shit?
Yeah.
And like why what caused you to eat like without like a strict regimen?
I guess I'm not like disciplined enough, like to stick to a diet. I've tried multiple diets, like keto, vegan, vegetarians, Ramadan, like all that stuff, and like I've never found something that works.
Gotcha. And like when it comes to exploring like those different diets, like how long have you been experimenting with them for?
I mean, I started going to the gym like 3 years ago, but I was never really consistent.
What do you mean by like consistent? Because consistent is different for a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, I would go to the gym for like 2-3 weeks, sit right for 2-3 weeks, and then I don't know, I would stop or like lose motivation and stop for like 6 months, then do it again, and so yeah.
Yeah, and something like when it comes to like the way you've been experimenting with your conditioning and your fitness, like are you like kind of like satisfied with like the results you're seeing right now with that?
So as you guys can see, the way he asked that question is a lot more genuine than it comes across in DM setting. In DM setting, it just says, are you satisfied with that? So you can't really have tonality with it. That's why it takes a lot more skill, and you're going to gain more skill being a phone setter than you would a DM setter, and this is a pretty good example of that.
No, really, man. I mean, I'm still like where I was 3 years ago. So,
And like you continuing to try out these different diets and working out inconsistently for 2 to 3 weeks and kind of saying this is not working, how has that kind of had an impact on your fitness?
Man, I mean, I haven't done any progress, and I feel like I'm on a loop, and I don't know if I'll ever break from that loop.
So he's really digging into that pain points. He doesn't know if he's ever going to get fit at this point because he tried so many different things. He's never locked in with his diet. So he's really drilling in that if he doesn't make a change, he's just always going to be the same.
And like when it comes to you bringing it out of the loop and kind of feeling like you're stuck, is that something you're like willing to settle for when it comes to like your personal fitness journey?
No, man, it's enough for me. I want to change. That's why I booked a call today. I want to see what's going on. And
You said it's enough for you?
yeah,
What do you mean by that?
like I'm fed up of not seeing any real progress and being consistent.
Yeah, and when it comes to like specific program, like kind of what are like the results you're like thinking to get long term?
If you can help me with my diet, so I know how to eat the proper food, so I can gain muscle without gaining fat, and if I can from maybe 6 months to a year from now, take maybe 5 to 10 pounds of muscles, this could be like amazing.
So he's basically finding out what exactly he needs so he can tailor his pitch to what this prospect needs directly. If you want this script that he's using written out down below, it's completely for free. Click the link down below and you guys can download that.
And when you said something about like losing fat and then long term, the next 5 to 6 months you want to see better results, like why like those 5 to 6 months specifically? Why is that like important for you in your fitness journey?
Because I'm starting college like next year, so like I want to be fit for college. I mean, what's happened in college, so I want to have a nice body and be fit for them.
Yeah, I mean, like in regards to you like seeing college is coming up pretty soon, like how committed are you to put in that work to get that body that you want to get before college even starts?
I mean,
Because you don't have to, man. You could kind of go back to doing the same, eating multiple diets and not seeing many results.
Yeah, you're right, but I mean, it really depends like how much is the like mentorship or coaching, because money is a bit tight at the moment. But yeah, I mean, if it's what I need, like I'm ready to commit to it, man.
See, you're really getting him to understand that he's making the decision. He wants to commit. That's the whole point of a setting call. You don't want to tell people what they want. You want them to realize that this is what they need. So the prospect right here is a little bit fearful of how much it's going to cost to invest. You're going to see how the setter handles these objections. And also in the next module of this video, we're going to go through all the setting objection handles.
Yeah, and like as you alluded, like obviously a mentorship like this requires like some capital up front. And when it comes to like your situation, what do you think you'd be comfortable if things kind of aligned up and sounded right for you?
So the setter kind of choked up at this point because it's pretty uncomfortable to talk about finances. So if you can just completely get over that hump of just talking about how much it's going to cost to change these people's lives, it's going to get a lot easier and smoother to do. But he recovered pretty well.
Like 500, maybe 1,000 max, but that's all I got.
Got you. And
And I'm
like,
being honest with you now,
yeah, and so like when it comes like that, you said 500 to 1,000. And when it comes to that, is that like stuff that's like in crypto or like in penny stocks or that stuff that
No.
now?
No, it's like on my bank account.
Got you. And you seem like a little bit hesitant when I brought the money. Why is that?
So that right there is an example of basically pre-handling his objections that the closer might deal with on the call. This is a great way to really solidify that you're going to get the sale, because if you can get through this, then he's definitely going to purchase it. Notice how he's super honest with him, because the whole building rapport part of the section was so genuine and so real that when it comes to the money, he's not going to lie about it just because this guy's been honest with him the whole time.
I don't know, man, because I've never really invested into like a mentorship or coaching before. But I know that now I have to take it seriously and make it happen. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I totally hear you. And like, I want you to be honest with me. Like, how committed are you to actually get the results? Kind of quit that strategy of like trying out different diets and inconsistently working out. How committed are you to stopping that and kind of seeing the results that you want to get when you have the right mentor?
If I have the right mentor, I know I can get it like 100% committed. Yeah, when I know I have the right mentor and the right strategy to get there.
Cool. So like, what actually allows for us to do for our clients is actually book them a one-on-one call with one of our lead coaches. Kind of like, what time today would you be available to take that call?
5 p.m. Eastern.
Okay, let me see. I have an available slot at 6 p.m. or 8 p.m. Does any of them kind of work out for you better?
Yeah, 6 p.m.
Okay, cool, brother. So I'm going to lock you in for 6 p.m. I just sent you a link. Did you get that link real quick? That's for the meeting?
So, I mean, that was good. Overall, that was really good. He sounds super genuine. There's a few things he could fix. When it comes to actually physically booking the call, I would just say, hey, we have a spot open today at 6 p.m. Does that work for you? Because that kind of gives you authority rather than just saying, what time are you available? Acting as if, you just have any time of the day available. But overall, this is a great setting call. This guy did end up closing. He paid $1,500, even though he said $500 to $1,000. This is a great example of using the scripts. And like I said, if you guys want the exact script that he used, click the link down below.
Just watching these calls made me realize how simple the process of setting actually is, and both of the calls that I'm about to show you guys have closed for over $4,000. So each of the setters made $200 in commissions from these calls I'm about to show you guys. These calls are roughly based off the script that I give you guys for free in this video. You'll probably see them go off script for a little bit and then come right back to it. But yeah, let's check out some of these calls and hopefully you guys understand how easy it is to become a setter once you understand the script.
Yeah, hello.
Hey man, how's it going? It's Jet with Colby's team with High Ticket Sales.
Yeah.
Awesome. How's it going?
It's going pretty well. How are you going?
I'm awesome, man. Thanks for asking. Yeah, man. So, I have a few minutes here before my next meeting. I saw your application. What was the main thing that actually had you send it through, man?
I just thought it was very interesting, what you guys do, honestly. And I just honestly wanted to get a call and just get to talk to someone in person, just to learn a little bit more about it,
For sure. So, are you talking about High Ticket Sales or the program we have?
Both. I'm interested in the program, mostly though. Like, I want to see how the program works. Yeah.
Sure, man. So, what are you doing for work right now?
I'm just a server at a restaurant in my hometown.
Cool, man. How long have you been doing that for?
4 months.
4 months. Awesome, man. So, is that like the first job you have had, or?
No. I've had previous jobs. I moved out after I graduated high school on my own. Got into a little bit of financial trouble. Well, not like terrible financial trouble, but I just ended up moving back to my parents rent-free. I've been here for the last 6 months probably.
Okay, cool, man. If you don't mind me asking, what happened with the financial trouble, man?
Oh, I just trouble finding jobs, stuff like that.
Okay, gotcha, man. So how long have you been living with your parents now, like since you came back?
Roughly about 6 months.
Okay, cool, man. So, I guess with your situation right now, right, if you could change anything about it, what would you want it to look like for you?
Just want to change what I'm doing. That's simply it.
Okay.
Like, I just
So,
need
I
to
mean,
find something that I can really like achieve in, right? Because like serving tables is not gonna, like, I can't put my mind to that, right? I need to find
Yeah.
something I can fully commit to, put my mind to it.
First thing, understand why they are there in the first place. Obviously, you see the setter here did not go exactly on script and say, "Oh, you put in an application, does that ring a bell?" Because you don't actually have to say that. You just have to figure out why they're there in the first place. You don't ever have to read a script word for word. It's about the answers you're trying to get. So step number one to setting call, figure out why they booked in the first place.
And grind it and, make better for myself, if you get what I
sure,
mean.
man. Yeah, no, totally. I mean, with this, man, right? Is it more about like just money, or is it having more time freedom, or what would you say?
It's just a little bit of everything.
Okay.
in
You just
hindsight.
really like want to completely change your situation, kind of thing.
Yeah. I just want to
Okay.
be the boss, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just want to be like the boss.
For sure. So, I mean, with that then, right, how much are you currently making at the serving job? Like, I know it's tips, so it's not the same amount, but
You can see this call. People will keep opening up and giving you more info if you give them a reason to, right? Jet could have easily just moved on and say, okay, you're a server, you don't like your job, next step. But he dug into why. He dug into what his ideal life wants to look like and just going a little bit one step deeper than just, oh, I don't like being a server. Now, keep in mind as you're watching this call, this kid ended up paying thousands of dollars right after this call, and Jet made a few $100s in commissions from this 15-minute call.
do you have like a rough estimate?
Yeah, no, I actually have an exact estimate. So everything I claimed. So for last year, everything I claimed was 12,086, and then everything unclaimed was like 5,215. So
Oh,
roughly
cool.
about, yeah.
So, I mean, how
And I
much
was
are you
just
actually left with then?
so there's no tax on federal tips, or there's no federal tax on tips this year in the state that I'm in. So I will get a tax return. So I'm not quite sure yet. But what was withdrawn was 1,762 for my taxes.
Awesome, man. So, do you have like a good amount saved up?
Yeah, no, I do. Like, I have a decent safety net right now. But like,
cool.
I came to the realization that that's only gonna get me so far, having a safety net, if I can't add to it like very fast.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
So
If
how
I'm
much actually is the safety net?
Between everything, about 10 grand. But
Okay.
it's also, I can't necessarily access all of that because some of it is in like Bitcoin and like other things. But I would say only about 30% of it is investments that I can't touch.
Okay.
So roughly about 7,000, I would say.
Cool, man. Well, yeah,
That's
that's
liquidated
definitely
money.
a good place to start, right? Like, that's a good amount to where, if you did move out, because let's say you had like 30 grand, right? That would be a good amount. So where if you have to fall back on something, you could. So,
Yeah,
good
yeah.
job with that, man. So, ideally then with this, how much would you want to be making monthly? Obviously, like 100 grand a month, somewhat realistic.
Yeah, I'm not really even worried about that. I'm just worried about learning it. You know what I'm saying? Because, if you master something and you grind it as much as you physically can, the money is endless, right?
Yeah.
So.
Cool. Good to hear, man. So, well, of course, the learning is the most important part, but there's also the money aspect as well. So,
Yeah.
let's say 3 months from now, because you would be making money by then,
Yeah.
So, for a goal, 3 months from now, how much would you actually want to be making a month?
For a goal in 3 months, a month, I would probably say a realistic goal would be 5,000.
Awesome, man.
5 to 10,000. Like,
yeah, that's a good range.
Like a step up from my old job, just a tiny little step up of income.
Cool. Yeah. So if you were making 5 to 10K a month, would you want to move out?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, like, I already want to move out. There's a lot of issues that come.
So right now he's attempting to future pace him, which is pretty much letting the prospect imagine what it would feel like if his goals were hit. If he were to hit those 5 to 10K marks in the next 3 months, where would he be living? Would he move out? What would his day-to-day look like if he were to hit those goals, so he can kind of feel what it feels like to be able to hit that. Now, if you do this the right way, it literally releases serotonin in the prospect's brain because they get excited for what's coming in the future. They can literally see and feel the future of what's going to happen if they take action.
I want to find a roommate. I need to find a place to move out to, right?
Yeah.
And
Cool.
if I don't know what I want to do, there's no sense in me just wasting money on my parents. I mean, I get it kind of sounds like degen and stupid, but my parents are openly okay with it, so I don't want to say.
Yeah, I mean, if you're saving money when you
Yeah.
do,
I'm saving hella bread. Yeah.
There you go. Cool. So is this the first time you've looked into anything online like this, or have you?
No.
looked
No.
into
This
other
is
things?
this is just the first time I looked into anything with sales, really. I was in like the crypto space. Oh, I've been in the crypto space for the last like 6 months, and I'm still actively in it, but it's kind of falling apart in real time, which is kind of making me a little nervous. And this is something that's more long term, right? Because sales is never gonna die, right?
Yeah.
Like the ability to sell something, right?
Yeah. So I mean, what's kind of going wrong in the crypto community right now?
Well, like I was doing meme coin trading before, and volume is just very dead. Volume is just super dead right now. It's very easy to lose money, very easy to get ahead of yourself. Quite frankly, that is what was happening. As I was getting in over my head, over myself, I was trading with emotions, all that sort of stuff. Kind of similar. I don't know if you know anything about day trading or anything like that, but kind of similar to day trading stuff. But
why do you think you were doing it emotionally, man?
Because of the money, right? Because the
Like,
money I was
you were a
risking.
bit too attached.
Yeah. The money that I was risking was like a high percentage of my total worth, right? So I was getting very nervous when I was putting that money on the line, right? And then I was trading with emotion rather than trading with technique. So.
Okay, for sure. So I mean, of course, you know about stuff like drop shipping and everything like that, right?
So he's trying to tie back all the problems with his prior business models with the fact that it's just because he didn't have enough money in the bank account. Him having more money and having more cash fluid is going to help every single aspect in his life. It'll help him move out of his house. This prospect in general in the back of his head knows that if he doesn't make more money in the future, nothing's ever going to work out.
So,
Yeah.
What kind of had you come to the realization you should get into high ticket sales, man?
Because the whole process of it seems, I like the whole idea of it, like how you're just kind of like the middleman, and like at least to start out, right, and then you can eventually become like the closer or whatever, and work your way up. Obviously, how anything works, but I just thought it was really cool that you can just kind of be the middleman. You don't own anything. You're not really affiliated to anything. Like I don't know how to explain it, but.
Like if something goes wrong, you can literally just move on to something else.
Exactly, yeah. You're not responsible for anything.
Yeah.
Except for connecting people, right?
Okay, cool. So if this actually did make sense to you, right, and you did have a good feeling about it, do you feel like you'd want to get into it pretty soon, or are you more just like doing research about it right now?
No, I get it. I mean, yeah, I'd get into it as soon as possible. As soon as
Awesome,
yeah.
Cool. So, I mean, what would you say actually stands out the most to you about high-ticket sales? Because obviously, different people have different opinions, you know?
Yeah, well, high-ticket sales, because, like, the skills that you need in high-ticket sales, I feel like I already kind of have a little bit, and because I really like talking to people. Like, I'm a server at a diner, so I always put myself into new situations, like social situations, to see how I act and try to fix that, you know, and be like more presentable. All that stuff. So I think that's why I would make a really good fit in this. I think it'd be good.
Man. Well, I mean, to be honest with you, man, I really did like this conversation. Like, I'm glad you filled out that form, man, because I think you would crush it. and I mean, you probably know that too.
Yeah, I
But I
thought
mean,
this for a long
honestly,
time because, I mean, I've thought this for a long time, and ever since I started the serving job, I've really come to the realization that like I can talk if I really put my mind to it. But
yeah. Okay, cool, man. Well, I mean, based off of everything.
I love to give setters as much credit as possible, but in high ticket sales, as you guys can see, this lead is warm. This is not a cold lead. This is not doing outbound door to door whatever. This is why people get into high ticket sales. They get to talk to leads like this that already know what the product is. They already have pain points. They're already pretty much bought in. They just need a little bit of pushing. I want to show you guys this call because clearly it's not like the craziest sales call ever. He's not doing some crazy manipulation tactics. He's literally just taking a lead that's pretty damn warm and getting him from a 6 out of 10 to like an 8 out of 10. And then the closer's job is to get that 8 out of 10 to a 10 out of 10.
I have a pretty good idea if you want me to share it.
yeah, go ahead.
Sure. So honestly, what I'd recommend, and I mean, because this is me looking out for you, right? We do have a few managers I could send you through to, but I feel like it would be best if I just put you with the student success manager. Because,
Alright.
I mean, what I could do is book you. He's collected, like, I think 2 mil this year, like cash collected. So, I mean, he knows what he's doing, right? I think
Yeah.
you guys would have a pretty good conversation. And, I mean, honestly, if things work out, then, I mean, you guys could move forward from there,
Yeah, no, that seems great.
for sure. Okay, so, I mean, you'd be open to having a conversation with
Yeah,
one of them?
as soon as possible, as soon as you guys can or whatever. Yeah.
All right, awesome, man. So let's see a time that can actually work then. I'll pull up his schedule. I mean, we have something. What state are you in, man?
I'm in Nebraska.
Nebraska. So are you Central or Mountain Time?
I'm Central.
Central? Okay, cool. So honestly, the only thing we do have for tonight would be 8 o'clock for him, and I'd have to probably have a conversation with him because he is pretty busy. But I mean, I'll throw a good word in for you, of course. We have that, or we can just do it for tomorrow. What do you think?
I do work tomorrow at 2 o'clock, so I will be unavailable from 2 to 10. But anytime before that works tomorrow. Anytime today works for me. I'm open literally anytime.
So he's framing the closing call as something that's very exclusive. Honestly, if I was setting on this call, I would probably just give him 1 or 2 times and say which works best for you. These are the only times that we're open to create kind of more authority for us. But like I said, I wanted to show you guys a call that is super realistic for you watching this video as a beginner to be able to replicate.
Let's see here. Tomorrow, would you be available like 11 o'clock Central?
Yeah, 11 o'clock sounds great.
Cool, man. So what I'll do then is I'll make this here. Is it just the email that you put on the application?
Yeah, the Hoffman.Talent. Yep.
All right, awesome, man. Cool. So very last thing, man, I'm just going to get you to open up your email, and you should see this come through.
Okay, great.
So it's going to be the Meet link, and you'll just join this tomorrow at 11 o'clock your time. So that has been sent. So, I mean, it'll probably take, like 15, 30 seconds, whatever, to come through. But just let me know when you do see that.
Yeah, I see it. Okay.
All right, awesome, man. So if you could just open that up, you should see something at the bottom that says yes, that you'll go into it to confirm it, and I should see that on my end.
Yep. Okay, so I pressed yes. Is there anything else I have to do? I don't have to forward it.
No. We should be good from there. It might take a second for it to come through on my end, but other than that, I think. All right, cool, man. Cool. So this is my work phone. What I'm actually gonna do is, because I'm gonna call Austin right after this. I mean, probably in 5 minutes, just when he's free. But I'll let him know about you and your situation, and I'll actually get you my personal number. So I'll throw you in a group chat with him from my personal number, because this is my work phone, and I'll send you some stuff to look at before the meet as well.
Right on. That sounds fantastic.
All right, awesome, man. So 11 o'clock is good for you tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll be there.
All right. Awesome, man. Sounds good. So I'll make that group chat now, and I'll call him in about 5 minutes and just give him a little update.
That sounds great. I really appreciate you.
Sure, man.
It was nice talking to you. And I'm glad I called, or I'm glad I submitted the form today for sure.
Me too, man. I think you would crush it because obviously, like, we're gonna be in contact after anyway, right?
Yeah,
It's not
yeah.
like this is just a one-time thing. So you'll need my personal number, which you'll have, and I mean, dude, I don't see why you wouldn't be able to crush it.
I don't see a reason. The only reason would be myself. So
There you go. Glad you know, man. Cool. Well,
All
yeah,
right.
I'll get that done now, man. And I mean, have a blessed day, man. I'll talk to you soon.
I will. You as well.
Great telltale sign of any closing call or setting call is when the prospect is thanking you at the end of the call. This setter on the call has been setting for about 3 months total. He's not an expert, but he made about $9,000 last month as a setter, and on that call right there, he made $250 commission.
Wow. All right, so at this point, once you've watched the live call, you probably noticed that the appointment setter handled some objections pretty well, even in the setting call. But often when you're on call with the DMs, there's going to be plenty of moments when they start talking about, they don't know if this is real, they might think it's a scam, they might not have enough money. So this is what we call objections, right? So I think it's a scam, or I don't like doing calls, or maybe it's like it's too expensive for me right now. So if you're unable to handle these properly, you're gonna waste 80% of your calls, okay? So knowing how to get a prospect to properly uncover their pain points is 50% of setting. The other 50% is handling their objections, okay? So I'm gonna give you guys the objection handling playbook, so everything you need to know to actually say and what responses you need to say when they start to give you some objections. But before I explain this, I wanna let you guys know that 80% of the objections you'll encounter are avoidable, and I'll tell you guys why. A lot of these setters, ego gets in the way. They try to make the mistake of wanting to appear smart, so they end up just completing what the prospects are saying for them rather than letting them speak, and you never want to do that, okay? You never want the prospect to start to be defensive. In that example of a setting call, I want you guys to save this video and watch that setting call back and back. Always watch that when you guys are bored, because that's a great example of letting the prospect speak and not interjecting into their answers. So to avoid them getting defensive, you just have to play dumb, okay? And what I mean by this is if the prospect says, oh, I work 60 hours a week, I get yelled at every day, I only make minimum wage, instead of saying, oh, you must hate your job, that sucks, just be like, oh, at the end of the day, I mean, do you feel lucky to have this job? Is this something you want to do for a long time? Just play dumb, and they're gonna be like, well, obviously not, I hate this job, and they're gonna dig deeper into that pain rather than drawing conclusions of what they say. Also, a great way to avoid these objections is believe 100% in the offer that you sell. If you're selling a fitness offer and you know for a fact that every single client that this fitness influencer has worked with has got shredded in the next 90 days, you're gonna have so much conviction in what you say that it's gonna be, for a fact in the back of your head that you're guiding the prospect to make a right decision. If you don't really believe in your offer and it's kind of a scam, the solution for the prospect, you're never gonna really believe in it. Another huge red flag is the people that continually follow a script and not a framework. So at the end of the day, you wanna follow a script to start to learn it the right way so you know it like the back of your hand, and then you can start using it as a framework, right? So a lot of people just go right to a framework without knowing the script. I don't recommend that. I want you guys to memorize the script back and forth and then start to use it as a framework, right? Because what happens if you just use the script is you're just gonna ask pre-written questions and people are gonna feel like you're not actually listening to them, right? For example, just curious, what got you into sales? Honestly, man, I've been looking for sales for a while. I really need help with outreach. I can never find clients. Cool, man. Just so I'm not assuming, what do you really need help with in terms of sales? So if you're just reading the script, you're not actually listening to them. You're not actively listening to what they need. And that's obviously a huge red flag. It's pretty self-explanatory, but a lot of people make that mistake. If the prospect is super closed off and doesn't really want to talk to you, you're gonna get to the point as a setter where you're proposing a call where you feel like you haven't even uncovered this prospect enough yet. And that's a really bad thing to do because they're obviously probably not gonna pay and they're gonna have a lot of objections for the closer. And another massive red flag that almost every single beginner closer makes the mistake of is holding frame, okay? The number one thing where appointment setters get screwed is they lose control of the conversation. So a lot of these prospects are just like, let's just skip to the point. I just want the price. Why are you asking me these questions? And they're trying to take the frame of the call when in reality, you are the expert and they should be happy that you are trying to help them get to where they want to go. So I'm gonna teach you guys how to always keep frame and make sure that these people aren't talking over you. So losing frame always kind of happens like this. So if you ask them, what are you doing for work right now? And by the way, this works on phone setting and DM setting. It's just easier to show you guys DM setting examples. So if you say, what are you trying to do for work right now? And they say something like, oh, are you trying to pitch me? Or are you trying to sell me something? So you literally just have to disarm him, say, I don't even know if this is going to be a good fit for you yet, but what makes you want to get into sales, and just jump straight back into the conversation. Another example is if you're trying to book a call with them and say, explain it to me here. I don't really want to do Zoom calls or anything like that. What you can say is, yeah, of course, I can explain everything here. The issue is I don't even know if what we do is going to really make sense for you. So what's the real solution solution you're kind of looking for in the sales process or something along those lines. Just disarm them and just let them know, I don't even know if we can really help you in the first place, and then jump straight back into the call. So the objection handling framework. Now, sometimes you can do everything right and you're still going to face objections, just like the live call I showed you. He was still worried about the price at the end of the call, even though it was a great call. When people say like, I'm not ready, or I don't like Zoom calls, or I'd rather text you, these are surface level objections. They don't actually care about that stuff. They are in reality are just afraid of being scammed. They're afraid of being pressured, and they're afraid of wasting time. That's the real objection. They're not actually not ready. They just are scared of these three things right here. So to handle objections in setting, it's very simple. Okay. You acknowledge, you connect with them, and then you ask them. Very simple. So we show that we heard them, we show that we understand them, and then we find the real objection. All right. So here's some live examples. They say, I'm not ready right now. Be like, I totally agree. Most people aren't ready to just jump straight into things, but out of curiosity, what makes you say that? And then I'm afraid of actually being scammed. Then you can actually handle the real objection rather than this smoke screen. Or something like this, like, I don't like Zoom calls. Just be like, oh, I totally understand. Tell me, is it because you've had a bad experience before? Or is it because you wasted time on a call before? You want to isolate the fear of what they're actually scared of. So once they say something like, I'm afraid of being scammed, just be like, I totally get it. That sucks. A lot of people come to us after being burnt. So is it more of a thing that you're being selective with who you trust, or is it you're just not trusting anyone at all? So that's a really good handle just to kind of get them to open up a little bit more and just be like, yeah, be more selective on who I trust. And then from there, you can ask a question of, why Colby? Why did you trust Colby out of everyone else? Or why did you trust Jeffrey out of all the influencers you see online? And they're going to break down why they did trust him and book this call. Or this one right here, I'm afraid of actually getting on a very salesy, pressured call. I understand that. No one likes that. Me neither. And you just want to reframe using a double question like this one right here and just get them to say that, they only want to talk to people who respect their decision and just fully agree with them. And then, so you just want to make sure that every single thing you do to propose the call to the closer is to basically handle their objections. So just be like, yeah, that's exactly why we do calls, because there's a lot of scammers online, obviously. So we just want to make sure that everything we do can help you get from where you are to where you want to go. Does that sound good? And that's 100% going to make them feel more comfortable and book that call. And just real quick, I wanted to throw this in, the 5 commandments in sales. As a setter, you definitely want to make sure to do this. Is number 1, biggest thing, be human. As you guys saw in that example video I showed you guys, he was so human. He was so genuine, authentic. Even if you're not actually, you want to come across that way. This one right here is avoid negativity. Every single thing should just agree with the prospect. You never want to bash heads with the person that might potentially give you money. That makes no sense at all. So everything you want to agree with. So just be like, oh, dude, I've been scammed in the past. Be like, oh, 100% I have been too. There's so many scammers out there. But what about Colby did you trust? And just jump straight into it. This one right here, review your calls daily. So record all your calls and listen to every single part of it. See what you did good, see what you did bad, and kind of ask yourself, if you were on the other side of the phone, would you genuinely trust you? And then master follow-ups. So anyone that didn't respond to you, master following up with them, and then replicate the greatest. So if there's a setter on your team that's just absolutely crushing it, they're making more sales than anyone else, and it would make more sense just to ask them, dude, what script are you using? Can I hear some of your call recordings? And just replicate that person. All right, so now we are going to go into the closing call section. We're going to go through everything you need to know about the closing call, the closing structure. I'm giving away my closing scripts for free. Then we're also going to go into how to handle objections the right way. This is an updated process. This is currently what the top performers are using to close hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of deals. So take notes. This is a pretty important module. Also, we're going to throw in a bonus call recording from one of my buddies who got this lady to pay in full for $5,000. You'll see the entire call live. All right, the closing call structure. Let's jump into what it actually entails and what the best people in high ticket sales are currently using to close high ticket sales deals. Also, I want to throw this out there. If you guys just want access to my scripts right here, I have all the Google Docs. You guys can study them for absolutely free down below. You can get access to all of my scripts. I literally give away everything for free in this video, so feel free to just go download those. I have the setting script. I have a setting script, a closing script, and a DM setting script. This is the most up-to-date scripts that the top 1% of earners use, so go ahead and download those if you guys want. But to start off, the mindset that closers have. The whole point of a closing call is to take the prospect, all right, get my little pen out. Take my prospect where they currently are in their shitty situation, working a 9-to-5, broke as fuck, whatever the situation is, get them to imagine where they want to be in life, whether that's making $20K a month, living in Tulum, living a laptop lifestyle, whatever their specific goal is, being able to help their family out, being able to pay their kids' tuition without even worrying about it. You want to get them from where they are, their current situation, widen the gap from where they are to where they want to go. And the only thing that can get them across from where they are to where they want to be is going to be the program that you're selling, okay? For example, if someone is, trying to make a fat person right here. Someone is super fat and all they can think about is food all day. They're where they are, they're super unhappy, they're unathletic, they get no girls, they don't like their situation in life, and they want to be the best version of themselves, a jacked dude. I'm trying to draw like a
fucking bicep. So if he wants to be, it's a terrible example, but if he wants to be in shape to a jack dude, the only way that he could possibly do that is buying your XYZ fitness program, because it guarantees you'll lose 20 pounds in the first 50 days or you don't pay, or whatever the situation is. So the whole goal is to just get them from where they are to where they want to go, and the only way to get there is your program. So this script tailors to this exact mindset base. So let's get into it. So the first thing you want to do in any setting call and closing call is figure out why the fuck they're there in the first place. If there's no reason on why they're there, you can't sell them anything. So you have to understand why they booked in the first place, what really egged them on to book a call right here and actually show up today. So part 2 is going to be the discovery. So you want to get their current situation. What are they doing right now? What have they tried in the past? Why hasn't it worked in the past? Then you want a motivation and reframe. So why change right now? Because obviously they've had these thoughts of changing or getting in a better shape in the past, but why change right now? Why at this exact moment? Out of all the years of being fat and getting no women, why right now do you want to change? So what you're trying to do with this is expose thinking patterns of the cost of staying the same. So if they stay the same for another 6 months, they're still going to feel the same pain of their current situation. Once you figured out their current situation, their motivation, you want to get their desired criteria, what they feel like they need based on what hasn't worked in the past to be able to get to their goals, okay? Then from here, you want to go to desired state, so get exactly where they want to be in life, how much money they want to make, what their body's going to look like, how they feel every single day, and just really get them to feel that emotion of what it's going to be like once they hit that goal. And then you jump straight into what happens if nothing changes. This is really where the emotional sell goes, because they understand that after all of this, after talking about what hasn't worked in the past, after figuring out why they're motivated to do it, it's really gonna hurt them emotionally, realizing that if they don't make a change, they're gonna be stuck in the same cycle for such a long time. This is why it's really important to dig into those pain points and understand specifically why change now. This is why it's super important to really make sure you hit all of these points before going into this, because they all work together. The whole point is to get them from where they are to where they wanna go. Your program's in the middle. So all these work together to be able to get that outcome. So in order to get all these points, there's questions you have to ask, and the questions that you guys have to ask are found in the closing script right here. You guys can download that down below, but this is the general idea of what you guys are trying to do in these closing calls. Once you've gone through their current situation, their motivation and reframe, their desired criteria, the desired state that they're trying to hit, the cost of inaction of them not changing, you just go to the commitment part. Once you have all the ammo of them saying they hate their current situation, they want to change now, they need XYZ in a specific program, they understand they're absolutely screwed if they don't make a change, you go through the commitment part. So you talk about everything that they needed in a program, you just drag it right here. So you throw this ammo right back in their face. You give them exactly what they need, tailored to what they just told you above. So you show the demo, whether it's, you get 8 weeks of a diet plan, you get every single workout customized to your situation, and you just get everything that they need to win. Then from there, you get the investment, you get the price, next steps, and then they either pay you right there or they give you an objection. And I'm gonna teach you guys how to handle objections right now.
You've probably seen other objection handle videos in the past, and majority of those objection handle videos, like the stuff you see on Instagram Reels, is someone says this and you say this in return. It's kind of like black and white. The real truth is you have to understand why people make objections in the first place and what you can do as a salesperson to prevent them from even coming up. The reason I'm making this video is when I was closing full-time for some of the biggest offers in info, these videos never seemed to help me. I would literally give everything on my call, I'd build rapport, I'd ask all the right questions, and every single time at the end of the call, I'd hear, I need to think about it, let me do more research, I'll get back to you, send me an email, I have to talk to my mom, whatever it is. So I knew the call was dead at that point every single time. I would try to handle the objections, but it just didn't really work out in my favor because I just wasn't doing it the right way fundamentally. So it's not that I was bad at handling objections or I wasn't bad at sales, it was that I was learning objections completely wrong. You have to think about why people get objections in the first place so that you understand how to prevent them. So I'm gonna tell you guys why objections actually happen psychologically and how to prevent them the right way. So objections are basically a signal that fires in your prospect's brain when they feel uncertain. They feel uncertain about something that you are selling them. So 90% of the time, an objection is just, I feel uncertain about you or the product and I'm gonna run away because of that. That's all that's really happening in their brain. So if you learn what triggers those reactions, you're easily gonna know how to prevent them so that you can not only have these word tracks ready to go, but they're probably not even gonna come up if you understand why they're happening. So fundamentally, the 4 things that actually trigger a signal of an objection is, number 1, your call is shit. And I know that's pretty broad, but this is the problem with majority of salespeople. They have a great conversation, they're super friendly, they ask friendly questions, they ask how the weather is, and it just triggers sales resistance. You guys have probably been in a scenario where you go into a car dealership and you know that someone's trying to sell you, or maybe you get a cold call and you just get weird feelings because you know this dude is trying to sell you. That's that little signal in your brain telling you to run away. They're giving you certain cues that you're about to get sold, and that's the exact exact opposite of what you want to do. So anytime you get on a call with someone and they're super friendly, they're asking friendly advice, that's a sign that it's a salesperson. Sure, you might, build a little rapport, they're going to be happy, but they don't take you serious. People buy from people they respect, not from friends, okay? So you have to treat your sales call like a framework, predictable, repeatable, and controlled. You have to control the conversation the entire time. I already have 2 videos on this channel teaching you exact setting and closing frameworks and how to frame it the right way that we've used to close over $5 million in sales. So if you guys want to go check that out, it's lower in my channel. I'll give you 3 signs right now though that your sales conversations are leading to objections consistently. All right, so number 1 sign that you're not doing the sales call correctly and you're leading to objections is you finish their call without knowing their real pain and dream. This is the number 1 reason why majority of sales reps always get objections, is because you don't know their real pain and you don't know their real dream outcome. So many people ask surface level questions and believe it'll lead to a sale, but that's just completely wrong. Okay, you can't ask surface level questions and expect them to pay you thousands of dollars on a single call. That doesn't make sense. If you're asking a prospect questions like what truly motivated them to reach out to you in the first place, and they're saying questions and you're just leaving it at, oh, he wants to make more income, or he wants to quit his 9 to 5, or he wants to make more money, your call was ass. Okay, the answer should be 10 times deeper, such as his 9 to 5 made him depressed, and if he doesn't change as soon as possible, he feel like his life will be completely gone, and he's never going to be able to buy his mom a dream house, and he's never going to be able to support his future wife that he wants to get. That is the type of answers you are looking for, and if you don't do that, you did a terrible job at getting his real desires on what he wants out of life, because if you don't know his true desires, of course he's going to want to think about it, because he's probably not even going to want it that bad. So this is the first fundamental thing that every single sales rep gets wrong, and like I said, I have a 2-hour video going through exact frameworks and setting and closing that you guys should use to really be able to dig deep. So check those videos out after. I'm going to get into objection handling, but this is the foundational reason on why most people are getting objections. Number 2 is that you guys are jumping around on the call. Okay, you don't have a set framework of you do this, then this, then this, then this. You guys are kind of just going from pain point, then their dream outcome, then their pain point, then a roadblock holding them there, then pain point. You don't have a specific structure and you're not really connecting with them the right way that you should using a proven framework. I'm going to give you guys our exact proven framework that you guys can download down below inside of our free Discord. If you guys want to download that, feel free. It's literally an exact script that we use, that I personally use to close $30,000 to $40,000 a month in pure commissions from this industry. So you want to make sure to follow a specific framework A to Z and just really dig as deep as possible, then move on to the next point instead of just jumping around. Also, a good little metric on if you're doing a good job preventing sales objections is if you talked more than him, that's probably not a good sign. That's really easiest metric to know on if you did a great sales conversation. Just ask yourself, who was talking more, me or him? Okay, if you've talked more than him, you're probably not digging deep into his desires. You're probably not creating any emotions that drive him to buy, and you'll end up with a prospect that's saying, I need to think about it, or I have to ask my mom or whatnot. The ratio should be 70% the prospect talking and 30% you. If you guys record your calls with like a software like Fathom AI, it literally tells you who was talking more percentage-wise. That's a great way to kind of track this metric as well. So handling this call right, these 3 points are probably going to prevent 50% or half of the objections you get. But the second reason is what prevents 90% of them. This is the biggest thing in the entire world when it comes to high ticket sales calls, is you are low status. Okay, you are just low status. I heard this Instagram reel. This kid pretty much sucked at sales, but when he went to Dubai and took sales calls with like a massively nice background behind him on like a penthouse, he literally increased his sales by like 30% just because of the authority. So 90% of you watching this are probably taking sales calls in your dorm room with like a hoodie on. You're low status. Why would you possibly buy someone from something that's not doing better than you? It doesn't make sense. This is probably the number 1 reason you're getting objections. Now, for example, you go to the doctor's office, you go to the front desk, they check you in, you go to the back room, everything's professional, and he tells you to get undressed and let me examine you. You're probably not going to say, oh, I need to think about it, I need to do more research. You're not going to do that. You're just going to do what the doctor tells you to do because he's a doctor. He has status. The reason is very, very simple. A doctor is considered high value. It makes people follow what they say. If you're a high value person, people are going to follow what you say, and salespeople are considered low value. When you think of the scummiest job in the world, you probably think of like car salesmen or just salespeople in general. That's literally known in the world as like one of the scummiest jobs. Okay, so you have to not be that person. You can make yourself look more valuable and avoid 50% of objections by just becoming high value in sales. So here are the top principles to become a high value person in sales and just overall handle more objections. First things first is you lead the call. You don't let them lead. The second you let the prospect run the call is the second that you lose. When they're just like, hey, stop talking right now, I just need to know the price. They're trying to take the frame from you. They're trying to lead that call, which you as the expert, why would you ever do that? If you start telling the doctor what you're prescribed, the doctor will be like, what are you possibly talking about? I'm a doctor, okay? I went to school for 8 years. I'm the expert here. So for example, if the prospect interrupts you right at the beginning of the call, says, how much is the price before we even continue? A low value salesperson would drop it immediately. But, oh, it's $4,000. Okay, immediately respect is gone. If you're a high value salesperson, you'll say something along the lines of, all right, we're going to get there, but we're selective with who we
let inside this program. We have to know if you're the right fit for the program. So I mean, tell me, how long have you been in the industry? So you have to just literally take the frame back. You go, hold on, like we don't even know if you're a good fit for the program, right? The last thing we want to do is recommend you something that might not be a good fit. So how long have you been in the industry for? So you have to just take that frame back and ask him questions because you are the expert. You don't want to let people in that are not a good fit for the program. The salesperson will keep control of the call. You're going to gain respect for the salesperson and you're not going to get any objections. It doesn't have to be clashing. It's just like, oh, hold on. Like, I don't even know if you're a good fit for this program, right? You always have to just say something along the lines of that so that they don't just run over you. Because if you do something like this and drop it immediately, the salesperson is going to start chasing the prospect and the prospect is going to lose respect for them and they're probably going to do an I need to think about it or I need to look over it. So it all really comes down to this at the end of the day, because if you can do this the right way, you're going to get less of those objections. And if you do this the wrong way and you get those objections, even the craziest word tracks in the world are probably not going to bring that prospect back because you lost the respect in the beginning of the call. And this also works on setting calls and closing calls. A lot of my setters will be like, oh dude, they just want to know the price. You can still say this exact word track on a setting call or closing call. It really doesn't matter. It's just more about grabbing that frame back. That's the biggest thing. So a really practical step that you guys can do to practice this, because I know it's a lot easier just to say it. Make sure you're taking notes on this, by the way. Like, really listen to this stuff. This is really, really important. It's going to help you make more money. When you're on a sales call and you feel like the prospect is pulling you out of your frame, you'll literally feel it. Like the prospect is starting to take over. They're starting to ask more questions aggressively. Treat it like an alert and then do everything you can to get back to the frame. Like literally alert yourself in your brain, like, oh, he's trying to take frame. Use this word track and then get back on frame. So literally treat it like a little notification in your brain. Number two, to become high value is sound like an expert, even if you're not. There's been multiple times where I've closed deals that I don't even know what the hell I'm selling half the time. And the reason is because I have conviction in what I say. For example, I used to sell a day trading offer. I didn't know a single thing about day trading in the slightest. I literally chat GPT'd what are the best terms I could possibly know about day trading. I studied them for a day, 2 days, and all of a sudden I sound like an expert. That's the top things I see beginner salespeople sound like, usually like nervous or excited. They get like super like giddy. Okay, that's like a terrible way to frame it. You are an expert. Okay, just always imagine when you come into the doctor's office, how does the doctor treat you? They're always calm, they're collected, they're looking to help you out, but they also have authority. That's like the frame you want to take. So this is really ruining majority of people's calls. How the fuck do you think you're going to sell something if it sounds like this is your first ever sales call? It doesn't even make sense. So you really have to sound like an expert. You have to have conviction in what you say, even if you don't. And I really hate to break it to you guys, but 97% of the people that you guys are watching on Instagram don't even know what they're talking about. Okay, you're just completely falling for it, and it's just because they sound like an expert. You guys probably watch on Instagram Reels all the time that I know for a fact went 0 for 7 on every single live sales call that they did. Yet these people still are perceived as an expert because they sound like one, because they're convicted. You guys can go so much further than you think by sounding like an expert. And so when you struggle with this, rewatch your calls and literally mark down the moments that you kind of sounded nervous, sounded monotone, sounded like a rookie, and redo those lines in the mirror like a doctor until it sticks. It's the quickest way to get better. And the third way to really keep value on a call is by asking deep questions, okay? And you guys are probably watching this video saying, I thought you're gonna give us some crazy, word tracks, objection handle, bridge frames, and all this stuff. If you guys mess this up, the foundation's gone. You're gonna lose the sale regardless of what word tracks you say. So just stick with me, really listen up to this stuff, and please take notes on it. So the third way to really keep your value on the call is ask deep questions. Ask deep, thoughtful, smart questions on these calls. It's simple. Low value people are afraid of asking scary or deep questions. They're afraid of it, okay? They don't feel like they can say it. The biggest thing I get when I'm training salespeople is they always say, I don't feel like I can ask a 50-year-old man how he would feel if, he wasn't able to make this money for his wife and kids. Like, I'm 21 years old. How am I gonna ask that? They're scared. They innately don't feel like an expert. They don't feel like they can help people. And even if you don't feel like that, you can't be scared of asking deep questions. You just have to do it. Okay, you have to frame yourself, even if you're not there yet, as the dude that's making 50, 60, 70K a month at 21 years old. You have to frame yourself as that person regardless. So low value salespeople are always asking questions like, what's your goal? What are you looking for? What's your budget? Okay, these are very surface level questions and it sounds like you're too nervous to dig deep. High value salespeople that don't care about what they're asking because they're trying to help them. How's your family been affected? Dude, you've been trying to make money for 10 years. How does your wife feel about that? If this problem keeps growing, what would that mean for your wife, your kids, your family, your future? What would that mean for that? These type of questions are not only going to get you over that fear, it's going to create so much respect for the prospect. Like if you can just execute that, sound like an expert, sound convicted, and ask these kind of scary, deep questions, they're going to be like, damn, this dude is actually trying to help me. He wants to see me win. He's asking these deep questions to really get me to realize that if I don't change, then I'm cooked. That's the biggest thing. I get these questions are deep. They're a little bit embarrassing to ask at first, but it's going to make you sound like the expert and he's going to follow you if you execute it the right way. You sound high value. And if it doesn't make sense, why? Do you think a doctor asks twice before asking a patient, do you struggle getting or keeping an erection? Do you think if anyone asked you that besides a doctor that you would answer? No, but a doctor asks that question, you're immediately answering because he's high value. He
He has the stats to do so, and you have to frame yourself the right way. That's the mentality that you have to have, and that is like step one in really preventing these objections. This is what 90% of the gurus aren't going to tell you, because they're trying to sell you their stupid little $9,000 training program that doesn't even fucking work, because you guys are hopping on the call all nervous and monotone. The foundation is messed up from the start. Okay, so I hope you guys really took notes on this part. So practical step, when you're on a sales call and you feel like a question is needed to get a sale, don't even think twice. Just ask it. Okay, when he starts talking about his family, his kids, I mean, dude, how would that feel, 6 months down the line if you still weren't able to get to this goal? How would your wife feel? I mean, how would that feel for your kids? Like, just ask the question, just do it. You're gonna get over that fear. But even if you sound like an expert and you handle calls the right way, I've seen people do this, it doesn't actually matter. If you're not actually listening to the prospect's concerns, some people will just like sound like an expert, they'll do all this stuff, but they're not really listening to the prospect's concerns. Okay, so this is a really big part of it as well. So many times salespeople are obsessed with following their script that they don't care about the prospect's actual response. Okay, they're not actually actively listening, and this is a really huge problem as well. So some people will have the framing, they'll have the conviction, they'll have that expert status, but they're not listening. I hired an appointment setter, and consistently these prospects would come to the closing call and say, yeah, the setter just kept cutting me off. He kept cutting me off. He kept cutting me off. And that's the worst thing you could possibly do, because it just shows that you're not actually listening to the prospect's concerns. All right, that's a huge no-no. So if your prospect might say something like, I'm super dedicated to getting in shape, I'm just afraid I won't have time. The average sales guy is going to ignore this and just continue with the scripts, and the prospect is going to bring it up at the end of the call and disappear. So whenever you hear a concern, address it as soon as possible. So for example, if someone says, I'm super dedicated to buying this program, I just don't know what my wife's going to think about it. Instead of going to the next step of the script, you have to say, does your wife usually support you on stuff like this? Yeah, why does she usually support you? Oh, okay, to end up getting your future, right? So you have to handle that immediately instead of moving on. So I'll give you guys a quick example of this right here.
Yeah, you're right, but it really depends like how much is the like mentorship or coaching, because money is a bit tight at the moment. Mm-hmm. But yeah, if it's what I need, like I'm ready to commit to it, man.
Got you. And you seem like a little bit hesitant when I brought the money. Why is that?
So instead of just price dropping, so you guys, I just want to know how much it is, because money is tight right now. Instead of saying, it's $4,000, be like, money's tight. Why is that? You got to just dig deep into that. You can't just hear a potential objection and then just let it go over your head. And this should be self-explanatory, but for some reason it's not, and a lot of people just don't really listen. So just keep in mind to actively listen. So I really thought mindset and kind of that whole thing was really BS, but it is really important. It's a lot more important than you guys think, rather than just saying word tracks, like heavy is the head that wears the crown. Let's be real. If they don't trust you, if they don't think that you're actually an authority figure, it doesn't matter what the fuck you say, they're not going to buy the product. Now that you've handled kind of the mindset, the emotional side, that's just the first piece of the puzzle. There's still one piece left, and this is the one that creates the most objections out of all these, is you don't build logical clarity on why they need to buy. Most people online say objections are emotional, not logic. And it's pretty much true. It's what we've been studying for the past 5 to 10 minutes, but you need to nail this part as well. There's a few more pieces to the puzzle you guys have to understand. When you only focus on the emotions, which is a big part of it, this is what happens at the end of the call. An alert gets triggered in your prospect's brain saying, why am I actually buying this stuff? Why did I actually schedule this call in the first place? And they end up saying, I need to think about it. So people buy from emotions, but justify it with logic. Like, this is exactly what I need. Genuinely, logistically, this is what I need. So make sure you're presenting the offer in the right way. For example, if there's a dude that is super overweight and he's just trying to lose weight, and you go through all the emotions and how he's going to feel when he does lose the weight, got all the emotions down. But if you're selling him a product on how to gain muscle, logistically, it's not going to make sense. But if you can kind of frame that as like, we teach people how to cut fat effectively and then gain muscle while doing that, it's going to change it, right? So you just have to understand that once you get the emotions down, good, you did 90% of it, but the logic is really going to seal the deal. So make sure you guys frame the offer with logic on what exactly these people are looking for. This is the whole thing on pre-handling objections. I hope you guys actually took notes on this. This is real sauce that all these gurus are not going to tell you. Also, like and sub if you guys like this style of content. All I talk about is remote sales on this channel. So after you guys do this, I'm going to teach you guys exactly how to do the fancy word tracks that everyone was pretty much probably clicking on this video for, and what word tracks you guys need that are the most effective that I've seen across 500 plus students. All right, so closing objection handling. All right, so after you guys got the frame, after you did everything the right way, if they're still giving you some sort of objection, these are going to be the easiest to handle. Reason being is because they know they need to buy. You guys did all the right framing, you did the emotional work, you dug deep, and this is going to be the easiest sell of all time once you guys do these word tracks, because they know that they need to buy it. So you pre-handled 90% of objections, but people are people at the end of the day. They're still going to have objections that come up. They're still going to be scared, uncertain, and whatnot. And I see so many videos online say, when people say this, you say this. But that's just
just not the case. It's just all bullshit. None of these responses work. It's just a marketing ploy. I'm gonna teach you guys how to actually do it the right way. So let's get into the objection panel. Before I explain the exact frameworks and word tracks for handling objections, let me show you all the objections that exist in the world. There's only 3 in the entire world. Okay, so up here is the, oh, I need to think about it. This is partner. Oh, I need to talk to my mom. You know, my house caught on fire. My dog passed away. Whatever it is. At the end of the day, it comes down to these 3 main ones: the money, the logistics, or the fear. That is the actual 3 ones. So they all boil down to these 3 main objections, and all these up here are just smoke screens. They're not real. The let me sleep on it ones, they don't actually have to sleep on it. They're just worried about the money. They're fearful it's not going to work for them. So whenever a prospect brings up any sort of objection, the first thing you need to do is gain certainty from your prospect. This will allow you to gain commitment, remove smoke screens, and isolate real fears from the objection. So before thinking about addressing the objections, you have to get a yes from them. You have to get them to say yes with certainty that your offer can help them get to their goals that you just emotionally went over for 45 minutes. This yes is the bell that rings game on. You get that certainty with the yin-yang method. So the prospect is going to say, let me think about it. I don't know if it's right for me. It's too expensive for me. First things first is you say something along the lines of this. Make sure to take notes on this as well. Write it down, study it. Totally get you. But do you feel like everything we went over can help you get to your goals? And you don't want to say goals. You want to say the actual goal that they gave you. Do you feel like what we went over can actually help you get to that first 10K month to be able to support your wife, your future kids, etc.? Yes. All right, you get that yes. Okay, cool. Why do you feel like it can? Why specifically? This allows you to reinforce certainty. Okay, now it's game on. 2 to 3 reasons on why he agrees. That's what he's gonna say. All right, so can I ask, when you say you don't know if it's right for you, what exactly is coming up that makes you feel that way? Just to see if I can help. What this is gonna allow you to do, it's gonna remove the smoke screen. All right, it's gonna give you that certainty. It's gonna allow you to isolate the real fear. And he's just probably gonna say, oh, you know, something, oh, I just need to think about it. Okay, cool. So can I ask, when you gotta go think about it, what exactly is coming up for you that makes you feel that way? Just to see if I can help. Now I'm going to get into what to say right after this if they say it can't get to their goals. So if they say possibly or basically a no, just say, okay, when you say no, it says possibly or maybe. It sounds like you're in the middle, which is totally fine. I mean, with what we went over specifically, what parts do you feel like can get you to your goals? Like what parts are you unsure of? And he's gonna say 2 to 3 reasons of what he's unsure of. And then next is say something along the lines of, okay, cool. And with what we went over specifically, what parts do you feel like can help you? And then 2 to 3 reasons on why he agrees. At the end of the day, no matter whether they say yes or no, once you go through these word tracks, say, okay, cool. So can I ask, when you say it's a little too expensive, what exactly is coming up for you that makes you feel that way? Just to see if I can help. The prospect is usually going to go on one of these 3 things. I mean, in reality, I need to speak to my wife before making the investment. In reality, I'm just afraid of spending that much money. In reality, I just don't have the money. Okay, it's going to be along the lines, they might not say this exactly, but they're going to say something that means one of these 3 things. I'm going to show you guys how to handle these 3 specific objections, because the goal of all these smoke screens is to say these word tracks right here and able to get one of these 3 objections, because you can actually handle one of these 3. So right here, it's money, fear, logistics, okay? So money, they don't know if he can spend the money. You don't know if his wife's going to kill him. Fears, he's actually afraid of spending the money. He doesn't know if it's going to help him. And then 3 is going to be logistics. He literally logistically doesn't have the money. Once you get to these actual 3 that I just went over inside of this pyramid, I told you guys right here. So I went from think about it to partner, these right here. I'm going to show you guys how to handle one of these 3. So the think about it objection that every single person gets every single time, it's so easy to handle. It's very, very easy to handle. And keep in mind, you guys kept frame on the entire call like I went over pre-handling earlier. It's going to be super easy. And this is only going to work if you pre-handled them correctly. So the big thing is you want to get the objection behind the think about it. They don't actually have to think about it before buying, right? When you go to Chipotle and you're about to buy the meal, you don't need to think about it before tapping your card. You're hungry, you tap it, you buy. You don't need to think about it. So if he says, let me think about it, totally get you. But before you go think about it, do you feel like everything we went over can help you actually get to that first 10K month to support your family? Yes. Okay, cool. Why do you feel like it can? 2 to 3 reasons on why he agrees. If he says no or maybe, he said maybe, I guess. Okay, cool. When you say possibly, sounds like you're in the middle, which is totally fine. Very similar to the first ones. You go through the exact same part that we went through earlier. What do you feel like can't get you to your goals? What parts are you unsure of? 2 to 3 parts. And what you feel like can get you to your goals? 2 to 3 reasons on why he agrees. You go through the same thing as always. So can I ask, when you say you got to go think about it, what exactly is coming up for you that makes you feel that way, just to see if I can help? At this point, he's going to say something that's going to get his real objection. So if he says something about the money, you're going to say something along the lines of, okay, cool. So it's fair to say it's not really you need to think about it. It's just more about the investment itself. This is really trying to isolate the exact objection. If it's fear, if he says something about he's scared or he's fearful, just be like, okay, cool. So what it's fair to say, it's not really the partner. It's not really about your wife. It's just a little bit of uncertainty coming up. If it's logistics, okay, cool. Would it be fair to say it's not really, your wife coming up? It's just a matter of you genuinely not having the funds available. Logistics. Partner objection, it's going to be the exact same thing. We just want to figure out the true concern because his partner is not actually the real thing. If he was 100% convinced that what we do is going to help him out, he wouldn't really need to speak to his partner. So if he says, I got to speak to your partner first, totally get you, but do you really feel like everything we went over can help you get to, that first 10K month to help you and your family? differently? Exact same process. Why do you feel like you can? Exact same process, okay? And then once again, you just have to get to the pure, actual, real, isolated fear. And if he keeps bringing on the partner, if he just keeps talking about his wife, this and that, you're gonna want to responsibility close him. You want to just let him know that he's the man of the household. And this works for women too if they need to talk to their husband. You just want to put the responsibility on them because they're taking action. Okay, cool. So can I ask, when you got to go speak to your wife, what exactly is coming up for you that makes you feel that way, just to see if I can help? It's just that the last time I didn't discuss an investment, we got into a big fight. All right, completely makes sense, but do you mind asking me, what does your wife do for a living? Oh, she's a doctor. Cool, man. I mean, with all due respect, man, when your wife goes to work, she doesn't run it to you to ask how to diagnose a patient, right? Yeah, you're right. So again, with all due respect, why do you think it's fair for you to go to her and ask her to make a decision on something that she's never been involved in? Yeah, so it's not really fair. Now, it's not saying she can't lend an ear on things and she doesn't support, what you're doing, but in the same regard, she doesn't fully know this like you. Because on the other side of this, when you are achieving, $20,000 in 3 months' time, how do you feel like your wife would feel about that? She'll probably be super happy. She's going to be ecstatic. But again, whose responsibility is this? It's yours. So that's true. And if you know this decision is on you, what would the version of you making $20K a month consistently do at this point? Probably not go and ask his wife, right? Bam, right there. That's his responsibility. I mean, it all makes sense, right? If you're watching this, probably like, oh, this makes sense. It's clicking in your brain. So this is the responsibility close if they keep bringing up the partner left and right. So next is going to be the money objection. So now you know how to handle, let me speak to my partner and let me think about it. Let me think about it is just isolating the real one. Let me speak to partner is just really putting the responsibility on them. One of the most common objections is the money objection. So the big thing you want to figure out about money is it's only two things. It could be fear or it could be logistics. Like they just don't have the money or they're fearful to spend it. That's the two things that could happen. So you'll usually encounter two situations. The prospect brings the money objection from the start, or the prospect brings the money objection after a surface level objection. All right, so we're going to start with the money objection just from the start. So right when you price drop, they bring up the money. Okay, so it's a lot of money or I don't have the money. Totally get you. But you feel like with what we went over, it can help you get to that first 10K month to support you and your family and your future kids. You guys see the theme here, right? So you just want to get that first yes. All right, the first yes is so important when they bring up an objection, because then you guys can actually play the game. Okay, yes, okay, cool. Why do you feel like it can? 2 to 3 reasons on why he agrees. If he doesn't, we've already been through this. You guys understand. It's the exact same thing. So can I ask you, when you say it's too expensive, what exactly is coming up for you that makes you feel that way? Just to see if I can help. So what you're looking for here is the fear or the logistics. So this is how you break up the money. The whole point of getting through the money one is to bring up if it's fear or if it's logistics. And I'll teach you guys how to do that in a second here. And here's really how to discern which one it is. Okay, so if you have the 6K in your hand right now, would you do it? They either going to say maybe. If it's maybe, it's most likely fear, okay, because they're fearful. They say yes, so it's a bit of uncertainty around the investment, or you just don't have the investment. Which one is it? So the whole goal of the money objection is to get whether it's logistic or whether it's fear, and once you have that answer, you can move on to the next point, which is fear. I would say this is probably the largest amount of people. People are just scared to spend money. You've probably been scared to spend money in the past. I've been scared to spend money in the past. Everyone has fear around it. This section is about handling their true concerns and actually closing the deal, because this is the biggest thing between people that are making 10K a month and 30K a month is they can't get over the fear objection. So there are truly 3 fears that a prospect might fear. Fear of you. They don't really trust you or the company. They don't really trust that themselves are going to wake up and do the work, or fear of the future. So there are pretty much 2 steps to eliminate any fear objections: the clarification frame or the reframe. Reframing is about changing their way of thinking. Clarification is about clarifying which fear the prospect is feeling. I'm only going to share you guys 3 reframes because there's so many reframes that you could possibly use. I have like 20 plus that I share inside my Students with Paid in Full. I'm going to share you guys 3 of them right here that you can frame 90% of your prospects with, and they all have the same end goal. Okay, you're just trying to reframe their actual thinking, and you don't have to be some psychology expert to do this. You just have to memorize it a little bit. After you handle the surface level objection, like, oh, I need to think about it and whatnot. All right, so is it fair to say there's a little bit of uncertainty here? Yes. Okay, cool. So what is the uncertainty about specifically? The program? Is it yourself doing the work? Is it the company? Is it me? Help me understand. Now you handle this. So if you isolated what they say, and if you're genuine with them, they're going to give you the real answer. If it's fear of the company or you, like, I've had bad experiences before, I've been scammed in the past, you want to do the burnt before frame. Got it. That totally makes sense. Thank you for being honest with me. I totally get it. You've been burnt before. It makes sense that you'd be more careful now. Yeah, exactly. But it's really just the tuition you pay to make a better decision this time, right? To finally choose a program that can actually get you to that first 10K months to help your family and future kids. It's like dating, right? Let me ask you something. Have you ever been broken up with or cheated on before? Yeah, of course. And when that happened, did you ever just give up on finding the right person? Did that stop you from finding your wife? Or did you just kind of
bury your head in the sand and quit. No, I kept going. Exactly, because if you're finally ready to draw the line in the sand and commit to yourself, you're not just going to bury your head and quit. You're going to get in the right place to make that decision again. But if it's the opposite, then I'm really not your guy. And honestly, you probably won't succeed in any program. So let me ask you this. Are you willing to actually see past that mistake as tuition and move forward to finally achieve that first $10,000 a month to support your family, your future kids, etc.? This is a great way to just really reframe the way that they're thinking. So they're fearful, but at the end of the day, if you really bring it into, you've been cheated on, you've been broken up with, just a common experience among most people, it's going to be really, really easy to reframe their thinking. Like I said, we have like 20 different ones of these. This is like the most common surface level one. We have tons of them inside of our program, Paid in Full. If you guys want to join that down below, we don't accept everyone, just people that are actually willing to work hard and really do this full time. So if they have fear of themselves, it's going to be self-doubt. At this point, the prospect might say, I don't know if I can actually do this. I'm scared I won't follow through. You got to ask him, so is it fair to say what you're looking for here is certainty? Certainty that what we do at this company is going to get you to where you want to go. Yes, I guess that's what we're looking for. Now, you mentioned earlier that you feel like it can. Did we come to that agreement? Yes, I believe in the process. But the other side of this, if you don't do it, how are you ever going to know that it works? I guess I wouldn't know unless I try. We make decisions in two ways. We either run from a decision we have to make, or we face it head on and overcome it. So you're pretty much at a bridge right now. That's exactly how I feel. One side of the bridge is your goal, you making that first 10K month for your family, your friends, finally getting out of this poverty trap that you've been in. And the other side is just sticking at the same point that you've always been in. And in the middle of that bridge is the decisions and the commitments you make every day to get across it. So our program 100% can help you get across that bridge. We can get you to that first 10K month. We can give you everything you need to be successful. We can't get that commitment of you to do everything every day, make the decisions, commit to it every single day to get on the other side, step by step, one foot in front of the other. So, can I ask you something personal? Yeah, go ahead. Are you willing to back yourself every day and do every single thing needed to make sure it works for you, your family, your future, so you can actually provide a life for your kids and get to that first 10K month? Yes or no? Yes? Perfect. Got the sale. You guys probably noticed I added a few things in here because I've done this multiple times. You can start to add your own little twist to it once you understand the actual framework. So I recommend you memorize this, you write it down, you focus it, and once you understand it, once you understand every part of this reframe, you can start to add your own little sauce to it. All right, fear of the future, fear of the unknown. At this point, the prospect might say, I just don't know if it's going to work for me. We can use the plain frame. Yeah, it makes sense, man. I could re-explain every part of this process, but that really wouldn't make a difference in whether you get to 10K a month, right? Probably not. Yeah, I guess. Let me ask you this. Have you ever gotten into a plane? Yeah, of course. You don't walk into the cockpit and start asking the pilot to explain every single button before you go sit down, right? No, he tell you to fuck off. He tell you to sit down, strap in, and just trust that you'll arrive. So, that fear is good. I felt it too. That fear is what's gonna drive your success. So let me ask you, what do you feel like you need to do right now? Now, this is only gonna work, like I said, if you reframe them the right way, held frame the whole time, you hold your authority, like I said in the pre-handling part of this video, it's going to work super easily as long as you guys kept that frame. So this is the most common stuff. I know this is a lot, so please make sure to like and sub. I put a lot of effort into this video, and please make sure you take notes on this stuff as well, guys. And the last part of it is going to be logistics. All right, so now we know how to handle emotional objections, fear, etc., money. This section is about handling logistics. You can be the best setter in the world, but if you're faced with a prospect with not that much money, you're unable to close them. So you really just want to double down on, is it the logistics? So would it be fair to say that it's just an issue with the logistics of the investment rather than us getting you to that first 10K or anything to do with being fearful? Yes, it's literally just logistics. Now the logistics is validated. First thing to do is offer them a payment plan, right? So you don't want to just let them go. If that's the case, we could totally see how we could break down this investment into a more manageable process for you instead of investing it all at once. Would that kind of help you move forward so you can still get inside and get to that first 10K month? Yes, that would help. Perfect. So we can do option X or option Y. Which one's easier for you? If he still hesitates with the payment plan, like you won't have enough money in the future, you can do the down payment option. Of course, and I want everything to make sense for you. So what I like to do is challenge you enough to make a commitment and draw the line in the sand so you can actually get to that first 10K month instead of backing out. Can I challenge you enough to do that? Yes. So what I am asking is that you challenge yourself enough to put a line in the sand and take responsibility for this change. All right, so let me ask, are you fully committed to getting to that first 10K month for you and your family? Yes or no? Of course, yes. Okay, perfect. So with that level of commitment, would it be fair for me to propose you put a down payment on today? Just something that shows that you're drawing the line in the sand for you and your family. Is that fair? Perfect. We can process it now. There you go. This is literally everything you need to know about handling objections, but the biggest thing is pre-handling, and if you guys don't have a good job offer to sell on, then you're never going to make money regardless of how good you are at handling objections. So we are currently hiring for multiple positions inside Paid in Full. We have tons of high ticket sales offer we hire for in general. That's what I literally do for a living, is I help build sales teams for these info product offers. So if you guys want to see the current jobs we have available and get guaranteed job placement if you're decent at sales, click the second link down below and apply for Paid in Full 2.0. We've helped hundreds of students make their first $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a month.
Let's look at an example of a closing call. I've personally taken thousands and thousands of sales calls. I'll literally scroll on my Fathom on this video right now. Because I've sold for a lot of big people in the space, I'm actually on NDA, so I can't share a lot of these calls. So I will be reviewing one of my close buddies' calls who pretty much uses the exact same process I used as well. However, I will say if you go to the bottom of this YouTube channel, before I was on an NDA, you can find some of my personal closing calls. Once you guys have already seen the setting calls, plus these closing calls we're about to review, it's gonna be super easy to digest like the whole full sales cycle, so potentially you guys can replicate it.
Yeah, and then just help me understand, like, what was it that kind of attracted your attention to actually want to book a call here today?
Why is he on the call? That's the first thing you need to know. What actually motivated him to go out and reach out and book a call with us in the first place?
I've been looking at doing something in high ticket sales for quite a long time, and I haven't actually gone forward with it. So I thought that
when you say a long time, what do you mean by that?
Probably since about January. I thought about it for a start, and then I was like, no, it can't be real. So I pushed it away, and then some other stuff came up. So and then now I've got a bit more time, so I thought, well, we can give it a go. See.
Currently working a job, or what are you doing for a living?
I have got an apprenticeship in engineering at the minute.
Okay, how's that?
Yeah, I'm not liking it too much, to be honest.
Okay, I guess
one thing I would have maybe done differently is instead of jumping right into what he does right now, I would have hit on the pain points that he just talked earlier. I would have asked the question like, so what changed right now? What made you want to get into this program right now rather than just keep doing what you're doing and just keep holding it back? But other than that, this call is perfect so far.
What makes you say that you don't like it?
The working environment's very dirty, and
okay,
they've not got a lot of progression there to be.
Right. Okay. How long has that been going on for? Like, you just haven't been enjoying the job?
I had to do training for 7 months to start with, and now I've just gone back to the company. So the training was all right, but the company stuff is a bit like it's not the best.
Okay, like not the best. that
No.
really clear up a lot for me. What does that actually mean?
When I go there, it makes me feel drained.
Drained. Okay.
So yeah.
Just from like the manual labor, or like what aspect?
And so this is something Cole's really good at. Is he's really good at probing and getting a physical, actual pain. Because this prospect right here might not even know his exact pain. What about your job specifically makes you not like it? Oh, I feel groggy. My boss is annoying. Whatever the case may be, he's getting a specific pain point that this prospect might not have even thought about. It's just really digging those pain points so that he knows he needs to make a change.
Mentally and physically, both.
Okay. I guess how long has that been going on for? Where you felt that way?
About a month, 3 weeks-ish, probably.
Okay, so
since I've gone back, so.
You haven't gone back?
No, since I've gone back.
Oh,
so
okay,
yeah.
All right, and then over these past 3 weeks, like you continuing to work the job, even though
it's
kind of taking a toll on you. Like, what impact has it actually had on you though, just staying in the job?
It doesn't make me feel good at all. I want more, but I don't think that's going to give me it, if you know what I mean.
Right. Well, I mean, is that a life that you're willing to settle for? Like just continuing to work the job? Well,
no.
Why not, man? Because a lot of people do, pretty much everyone does.
He's making him settle and realize that if he doesn't make a change and he doesn't actually change something in his life, what is going to happen? Because a lot of people end up settling for this life, so why doesn't he want to? If he doesn't actually sit there and make a physical change and get over the line, nothing's going to change for him. He's going to keep sitting at this miserable job.
It's just, I've always tried to make my own money.
Right.
Well, I say always, since about 14, so six years with a year gap in between, I've made my own money. Not fully, but I've made my own money on the side. And
I see. Okay, so I guess what's the motivation behind like seeking out more advanced training and placement rather than just like doing what you have been and like hoping that you see results?
Well, I haven't actually been taking action, and action's the only thing that you need to do. So if I can take some action, then.
Awesome. So in terms of like actually taking action and getting the help that you need, like what results are you actually looking to get out of getting into?
I'd like to make it either a job or.
So once he found kind of his pain points and his actual, reason that he wants to change, he's going to find his goals. What's the goal that he's trying to look for to see if we can even help in the first place, right? He's basically just figuring out exactly everything about this prospect, the pains, the goals, so that we can tailor our solution exactly to him.
Out of my job with it, I was wanting to do it to get into sales to start with, and I know it's got good earning potentials and.
Right. When you say earning potentials and like where you want to be, what does that kind of look like?
He's getting a tangible goal, okay? Whenever you're finding the prospect's goal, you can't just have, I want to make more money or I want a new car. No. You need a specific actual goal. So he's basically probing to get that actual goal before he can move on to the next point.
Well, currently with this, in 3 years, I'd be on 50,000 a year. And with this, you can be on, well, it depends how much effort you put in, and I'll be putting in quite a lot of, well, yeah.
Exactly. I mean, it's all based on skill set, right? Skill set plus opportunity. So, right. I mean, you getting to that point where you're able to hopefully quit the job and hopefully a lot more than 50K per year. Like, what's behind you actually wanting to do that? Because, like I said, a lot of people are completely okay with just continuing to work their jobs.
My dad's also an engineer, and he comes home from work and he's not happy half the time, and
Right.
I don't want to have the same life. I want to have more opportunities to be able to work from, like, go to a different place and work from there, or location freedom. And I know it's everyone says location freedom, time freedom, and you're working more than actually in a job.
What does that actually look like for you, though? Like, what does the location and time freedom look like for you?
So for me, it would be that I would be able to like work from wherever I want. So I like traveling, so I'd be able to go somewhere, be able to pay to stay there, work while I'm there, and then in my time off, instead of being sat at home, I'd be able to go and visit the places I've always wanted to.
Right, man. Cool. And like, how?
So he's really putting him in the scenario that if this did end up working out and you put all the time and effort in and you ended up making what you want, what is your life going to look like? He's going to be able to see, he's going to be able to feel that life that he's always wanted, but knowing that he's not going to take action, he's never going to be able to get to that life.
How long have you wanted to do all these things for? Like, quit your job, be able to have that time freedom, location freedom?
For a long time. I were doing shoe reselling, and I thought, well, that was never like, oh, I can make this a full-time thing.
Right.
But from that, it's been like, I can do something online that makes me money and that I can bring forward and do full-time.
I understand.
So,
and go ahead.
So I'd say I've been thinking more about something properly full-time for about a year.
Okay, cool. And then, like, in your current situation, just be honest with me, like, do you feel like those goals and where you want to be, like, is that a possibility?
Yes. Well, not with what I'm currently doing, no, because I'd have to be working and I'd get probably 5 weeks off a year, which wouldn't let me do what I want to do.
So with his current situation and everything he's doing right now, is the goal going to be attainable that he just painted out for Cole? Is that goal ever going to be attainable with what he's doing if he doesn't take action? He's just getting the prospect to say, no, it's never going to happen unless I personally take action. The whole point of sales is to get the prospect to say what you want to hear, okay? You never want to tell the prospect that, you know, my product is the best, you know, if you don't take action, you're never going to get there. The prospect needs to say that. So the whole point is asking probing questions to get the prospect to realize that if he doesn't get over the line, he's never going to make it.
Right, and like not being able to do what you know you want to do just because of your job, like, is that something that you're willing to let stand in your way?
Well, I want to be able to, I don't want it to stand in my way, no.
Right, cool, man. So over this past year or so that obviously you've been wanting to do all these things with the job, right? I guess, what have you done in terms of like investing into more advanced training?
Not much, nothing at all really. I haven't spent any money in investing in sales training or any sort of training. I've just been watching the free videos on YouTube and stuff.
Okay, and then I guess just using like the free stuff, has that like really gotten you the results?
No, because I haven't actually applied it. I've just been like watching it and writing it down, but then when it comes to actually applying something, I've not known what to do. So I've not known the first steps or.
Yep, I see. I guess, what do you feel like has possibly prevented you from actually investing into like an advanced skill set, like in the past?
We're about 10 minutes into the call and we've gotten so much information on this prospect. We've gotten pain, we've gotten goals, and basically at this point we're figuring out what has held him back from making some sort of investment to change his life in the past. Basically what this is doing is it's pre-handling his objections so that at the end of the call, he's not going to have them, okay? And a lot of prospects do end up still having objections, but they've already said to themselves that they need to make some sort of change, so it's a lot easier for them to get over the line once you pre-handle these objections.
Spend money on something, I want to know, well, I know that if you buy it, you've got to put the hard work in, which I get. But if I don't want to buy it and then it be a waste of money.
Right, I see. So
even
if it comes down to like the discipline aspect of it, right?
No, if I don't want to pay money for something and then do the work, and then the thing that I've bought is still not good enough, even though I've put the work in for it.
Okay, I see. So that's what you feel like has prevented you from investing, just like this uncertainty?
Yeah, and the fact that they all some of them seem way too expensive for what they are.
I see. I guess.
And so at the end of the day, you can kind of tell that he's just a little bit uncertain that this program is going to help him get to where he actually wants to go, that this is going to be the program for him rather than, you know, all the other people out there. So we have an exact attainable reason why he might not buy in the future, so we have to handle that objection before we can pitch the program.
When you say like,
is included in the course. So some courses are like, oh, you get these 12 videos and then you pay £4,000 for these 12 videos and your whole world is going to change. And I don't see how 12 videos is going to make your whole world change. So
yeah, Yeah, totally. I totally see that, man. And you know, in your situation, man, like, where is this way of thinking of kind of like putting off getting the help? Like, where has that actually gotten you, though?
No way, it's taking me backwards.
Right, man. And just be real with me. I mean, you've been very open so far. Like, what actually happens if you know, possibly continue to allow this way of thinking to like prevent you from ever getting the skills you need? Like, do you think you'll actually see a change?
If I keep not taking action, then nothing will change, because the action is the only thing that enables change.
Right. And so, what do you need to overcome so that these next 6 months to a year don't look like what you have been experiencing lately?
I need for me, it's like.
And notice how the whole reason we ask these questions is just to get the prospect to think, to actually genuinely think. Like, notice how this prospect is actually thinking about stuff that he's never even thought about before. You know what I mean? Like, he's genuinely thinking about what is going to happen if he doesn't make a change. He's probably never had someone ask these sort of questions. So these deep hitting questions are so vital in getting people over the line. We have his pain points, we have his goal, we have his gap, and right now we're just figuring out why he might not end up making the investment on this call.
It's the start. So if I can start something and know which direction I need to go, then I'll be able to do it. It's just the starting of it, what I need to do at the start, and what the next steps are.
Right. Okay. I see. And in terms of actually getting started, right?
Yeah.
What do you feel like you would need out of a program / community? Like, what do you feel like would be important for your success?
So we're literally asking, what do you feel like you need to be able to get to that dream desired outcome that you just explained to us? What do you genuinely need? And then we just tailor the pitch to whatever exactly he needs.
Well, for this, you need something to do with mock calls, so you know what you're doing well and what you can improve on, and where to actually get started with looking for job opportunities for it, because there's things posted everywhere, but half of them are like not at all, and
right.
Scamming. Like, you get 50% commission for this, and it's just not realistic, is it? So
yeah. I guess when you say like being trained in the mock calls and that kind of stuff, like, how would you actually like to be trained on that? Hopefully more than 50K per month, or not per month, 50K a year, being able to quit that job, all these kind of things, and like you getting to that point in your life, like how would things be different at that level? Besides just more so like the tangible things, like for you personally, how would it be different to get to that point?
Like what I'd feel, or
and like you said you have been wanting to, and we looked on 6 months to a year from now and nothing's changed. Now, is that life? Is that a choice, or is that a problem?
It's a choice and a problem, because I'd have chosen not to take action, and the problem would be that I would be still in the same position that I was 6 months ago. Or
right.
You can't sit.
Right, but in this situation, would there be any problem if we had made the choice?
Oh, so if I'd taken action and attempted this for 6 months.
Right. If you had made the conscious decision and made the choice to actually go all in on yourself.
Yeah.
Then would you be experiencing a problem?
No, I don't think so, because I'll be trying.
Right. Cool, man. So let's kind of.
And so for certain stuff like this, especially on B2C, I would reword these questions a little bit different to make them more digestible. But overall, he gets the point across of, if you were to take an action 6 months ago, do you feel like you'd even be having these problems now? No. So what do you feel like you need to do? So the whole point is just to get him to say that he hasn't taken action. And if he were to done this 6 months ago, he probably would be in a lot better position.
Show you a little bit around what we do. I know you were kind of telling me a little bit about what you feel like is.
So at this point, 15 minutes in the call, it only takes 15 minutes. We got so much info from this prospect. We have everything we need at this point to pitch the program. We have his pain, we have his desires, we have the reason he hasn't done this in the past, we have what his life's going to look like if he does do this. So now we have enough evidence to pitch him the program and actually help him get over that line. I can't show the product, but once we go through this, basically asking for the investment.
Can actually help you, get to those 50K years, hopefully, and be able to quit that job that we talked about.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess, why do you feel like it can, though, in your situation?
I've got...
And one thing I would have done is I would have gone over the 50K a year. I would have kind of expanded that goal, because 50K a year is so doable in this industry that we're selling. So I would definitely have said something like 100K a year, something like that. But regardless, everything else besides that is perfect.
The only real thing I do is I go to work and I go to the gym. So in all that other time, I can be working on this. So I've got time and I want to do it. So I don't see why I couldn't.
Awesome. So in terms of like investment and everything to actually get you started, pretty much what we would do is we process a one-time investment of 3K. That would give you full-time access, like I talked about, to literally everything we just went over. We would process the investment, get you started, onboarded everything, and you'd be able to start working as soon as today. But do you have any questions on how that works?
How does it work? Does it just send over a link to the email and then you do it by the
So pretty much.
Something I would say, instead of any questions, because that's just going to bring up any objections, is I would just say, how do you want to proceed from here? That's just something simple. How do you want to proceed from here? We take credit, debit, crypto. How do you want to proceed from here? That's something that I would say just to not raise any objections or questions.
What we would do it is I just collect some card details and we would run the payment right here on the call just to make sure it goes through. And then, like I said, I'll help you with onboarding.
It wouldn't go through because I don't have that amount of money in my account, and I've got the savings account it takes, I think it's 3 business days to come out. So
Okay, so let me just understand here. Is it more like just uncertainty, or is it that literally we just don't have that amount in the account right now?
don't have that amount in the account.
Okay, so
I would kind of go through a little bit of an uncertainty handle because he probably does have the investment in his account. He's just a little bit unsure. So I'd probably go through a reframe of to be honest with you, man, I mean, do you really feel like this is the program for you? Do you feel like everything we went over can even get you to those 5-6K months in the first place? But yeah, I'd be like, why? I would say that before I ask the question of, so is it uncertainty or is it just you literally don't have the investment? And obviously objections are going to come up, even though we pre-handled them a little bit. Objections are always going to come up. So this is pretty much the part of handling the objections and finalizing that payment.
would it make more sense in your situation if we were able to like break up the payments or something?
How much would you be able to break it up? Because I've got some training for skydiving I need to pay for, which is quite expensive as well.
Yeah, I got you. So I know you said you have money like in your savings and everything.
Yeah.
I guess in terms of like what's in your checking, what would you be able to do? Like as a day, like we don't want to put you in that position, but
Yeah, I'd only have enough left for the month, so
okay.
I didn't realise I had so little.
Let me check. But
Yeah.
I have a better understanding.
I wouldn't be able to do anything this month because I need to pay that on Monday, so I'd only have enough left for the month, so
Okay.
I didn't realise I had so little.
What's happening?
I've got okay, but the skydiving's 1,800, so I'll have 200 left for the month, which would
Okay.
be enough. So
And then all the other money is in like your savings, is what you said?
yeah, but it'll take a few days to come out. So I can't get to it.
So at this point, I mean, most people probably quit. Oh, I can't get to it, don't have the money. But this is the difference between A players and B players. We don't take no for an answer. So as you guys can see how this call is going to pan out.
Rest our process within 3 business days, it says.
Okay.
You can see up there. So
Okay, yeah, that's not a problem. So what we can do, like I said, I know you said you have a little bit left in your checking or whatever. So what we can do as of now is we can put down just a deposit right now, because I understand, you got to process the savings, all that kind of stuff. Put down a small deposit right now, and then we'll be able to process the rest of the payment on Wednesday or whenever it will come through.
it's just quite a lot.
But man, in terms of like the money and everything, like money out of the equation, is this something that you would?
I would do it if money wasn't an object. Yeah.
Right. So do you feel like maybe you being tight on the funds or not having the money, do you feel like that's a problem, or do you feel like that's a symptom of the problem?
So at this point, we know he has the money. He has something to put down, but he's just scared. He's just uncertain that this is going to help him get to where he wants to go. So we're sitting here doing objection handling again.
It would probably be a symptom of
Right. Well, it's a symptom at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
Because if you
Yeah.
had the advanced skill set of sales,
Yeah.
and you had the right opportunity, what would come with it?
money.
The money. So in your situation, Jake, like genuinely, which is riskier? You can stay where you're at, continue to work the job that you said you hate, and just say, oh, I don't have the money. Or like
Yeah.
overcoming the hurdle of not having the money and actually aiming to get the skills and the health you need to ultimately do all those things that we talked about. Like,
Yeah.
which is riskier?
Sticking realistically, isn't it?
Right. So just help me understand. I mean, you've been very transparent with me so far. Like, is it more so just uncertainty, right, about putting some amount down, or is it just
It's something deep inside.
So that frame I would have done at the beginning of the call because it probably would have saved 5 to 6 minutes. But we got to it eventually because obviously he does have the money. He has something to put down, but he's just still a little bit uncertain.
That says it's a lot of money. You don't know what you're going to be getting,
right?
and
Wait, so who says you don't know what you're going to be getting though?
Me, something inside me says that. But
Right.
I still think I'm going to be getting.
So it's uncertain. We've already showed him the program. We know exactly what he's going to get. We've been over this 5 times. He's just uncertain. It's just a simple uncertainty fear that he needs to get over.
Yeah.
What you're looking for is certainty, right?
Yeah, I know, and you need to make uncomfortable decisions, and I don't know, something about.
Right, I understand that, and I know you said you have to make the uncomfortable decision, right? Because where is making the comfortable decision? Because I mean, we can look back the past 6 months to a year, putting off getting the right mentor, putting off actually taking that action, right? I understand, man. I completely understand. I was in your position at once, investing into sales training. Like the comfortable decision is just going away and not doing anything about it.
Yeah.
But like, where has making the comfortable decision? Where has that actually gotten you as of now?
It's that right here.
Right, man. And just be honest, like, what actually do you genuinely believe happens if you continue to allow this way of thinking to determine what you get the health you need?
Well, the things that are in my head as dreams would not happen.
And but unfortunately, I mean, you're sort of on a bridge at this point.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
On one side is where you want to be, right? Making all that money, being able to quit the job, and where you are today, right? Stuck where you are, continue to work the job that you hate, and all that's in between is really just action and commitment to actually get to the other side, right? And I can't make that commitment for you. No one that your family, your parents can make that commitment for you. It's up to you, right? And if you would actually back yourself and you would try, now the question is like, what would you do if you knew you wouldn't fail?
If I couldn't fail, then it's a no-brainer. You'd do it, wouldn't you?
Right, exactly. But how would you ever know, right? How would you ever know if you never actually tried in the first place? Because what has been the thing that's been happening in the past is just never actually trying, right?
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to making a decision, man, usually two things are coming up. Either we're pushing for pleasure or we're running from pain. And I understand like what I'm asking from you is a big investment. I'm not saying that it's not, man. But also you getting to the point in your life where you're able to hopefully quit that job, have that time, location freedom, that life that we talked about.
Yeah.
I understand that the investment is a big step, but also getting to that point is a big step for you, right?
Yeah.
But like I said, how will you ever know? How will you ever know if you never actually take the action to do it?
So this is the simple bridge reframe. It's very simple. You literally just have to memorize these word tracks so that every single time this comes up, you know exactly what to say in the situation. And it's going to be the difference between you collecting cash and making commissions and you not. And also that you're helping this person get over the line. This dude is never going to change his life unless he actually takes action. So it's beneficial for everyone.
Yeah.
You won't, right?
No, you wouldn't.
So the thing is, man, like either, we draw a line in the sand today and we could work together to actually get you to that point, right? Work together to get you to that level. Or the other side of this is you just, crumble back off and you go back to what you've been experiencing over the past year, which isn't a problem, man. You can do that. And a lot of people do. But it's up to you whether you want to stay on one side or actually get to the other. And so just for 1 second, man, I want you to start thinking like the 2.0 version of yourself, the version of Jake who's already making that kind of money. He's already quit his job. He's chilling on a beach, right? He's taking sales calls.
Yeah.
I want you to start thinking like him. What do you feel like he does in this situation? Does he put off getting the training that he needs because it's too much, because it's comfortable, right? Or does he actually take the steps and commit to himself to get there? What do you feel like he does?
He would probably take the training because he needed to take the training to get to where he was.
Would he probably do the training, or would he?
No, he would do the training.
Right now, I mean, and if you would step into his shoes, the question you have to ask yourself is, what do you feel like is the best decision that you can make? So whenever you leave this call, you put your head on the pillow at night. You've done everything in your absolute possibility to ensure that life for yourself. Like, what decision do you feel like you need to make in this situation?
Probably to get the course.
Right. So what are you gonna do,
man? I've got a question. So I have requested to change my bank account. Okay. So if I give you the card details from my old card, would that transfer over?
So all of a sudden, magically, he has another card that has a little bit of money on it. So this is a great example of you just have to get over his uncertainty, let him understand that if he doesn't take action, nothing's going to work. Cole ended up making $300 in commissions in this 36-minute call.
Yes, can you hear me?
I can. How are you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing amazing. I can hear you. I just can't see you.
Where is that thing at?
I think it should be if you on the Meet, just the one that looks like a camera. Just press that. It should be good. There we go. Awesome stuff.
You can see me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. Well, hello.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Too.
I think you had booked in like literally yesterday. Is that right?
Yes. Last night.
Okay.
Well, yesterday evening. Yeah, something like that. Yes.
Okay, perfect. Well, yeah, definitely excited just to kind of dig into your story. I want to understand, what you've got going on with trading right now, especially what you've got going on in terms of looking into the Asian market and how that works, and ultimately get clarity on what you're looking to accomplish. And then if there's alignment with that, what we have going on here with Chelsea, when we have students crushing it, then I'll walk through those details, what that looks like, and we can go through the steps if it makes sense. That sounds good.
Yeah, sure.
Let's do it. Well, I took a look at your application, so I know you're currently trading a little bit. What would you say the biggest challenge you're having trading profitably consistently is right now?
The biggest problem, I would say, having like a method or a system that actually works. Like right now, I trade supply and demand, and I look, for liquidity and determining if there's an uptrend, like breaker structure, all that, like market structure, and I don't know, it's like I'm following the steps, 3 steps. But when, in the middle of the market, when it happens, price will break the zone, so my stop loss will get hit, all for it to go in, in my direction. So normally, for me, whenever, supply or demand, if price breaks through it, then the zone is invalid. Well, most likely it's not, because then price is gonna, probably tap out of it a little bit, and then, go up past my TP. So if I have it a 1 to 1 or 1 to 2, price will go to 1.5, 1.6 without me. So I I'll make money and then I'll lose and then I'll be at break even. So it's not consistent to the point where I can turn in, my resignation, because it's too inconsistent. But I do make money and then I do lose it. And then sometimes I'm just at break even, but it's not enough, to pay my bills or replace my salary. So I just want something that's more consistent. So maybe there's something that I'm missing, like what I'm looking at in the market. I don't know.
Okay, got it. So right now, so from what you said, you just want a method or system that works. When you say works, it's something that is just consistently bringing in. Obviously, we're going to have our losses, right?
Yeah.
We're not going to but just something where your win rate is enough to the point where you're bringing in money consistently, and ultimately it sounds like you want to replace your job. Is that right?
Correct. I don't want to lose more than I win, and that's what's happening now. Like, I'm not expecting to get 100%. I get that. But if my loss rate is higher than my win rate, then there's a problem. I don't, let's say five trades, I take 3 and lose 2, or I take 4 and lose 2. It shouldn't be the opposite. So
yeah, 100%. I guess more like specifically, let's just break it down. I guess like we could go just for this past month up until the 17th. So like just in January, where are you? Are you positive? Are you negative? Or where are you at right now?
Right now I'm negative because I just failed funded account.
Okay, gotcha. So you're trading with funded accounts currently?
Yes.
Okay. Gotcha. And how about like the month before that?
I was like $500 away from passing and failed that.
Okay.
So I was so close. And I passed other like combines before and just haven't received a payout. So like I'll pass it, or so I don't know. It's something that's inconsistent. Because I had the certificate and everything. I just end up blowing the funded the PA account. And then now when I'm trying to get back onto that, it's like I'm having a hard time passing. Like if a 50K account is just $3,000.
Right. So I guess that being said, how many times have you failed since you passed that one time? Just
how many times? See, that was sometime. Okay, so I passed the funded account. Was it August, before the kids went back to school? August? It's like 5 months? January? Yeah.
Okay. Past 5 months ago. Gotcha. And then since then, have you just failed like these past 2 times? 3?
No, because I'll have to reset it. So no, I haven't passed it since then.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. So I guess I'm curious, what was different about you passing it that first time and you not passing it like since then?
Right, because I do the same method. So I'm doing supply and demand. I probably threw in like fibs, like from way back in the day, like trying to use like Fibonacci, and
it's just a matter of like you have a method. It's just it worked that one time, and then these past times it hasn't been working. Okay,
right. That's why I'm just like, well, what's going on? Because I have not changing anything up. Like I don't understand ICT, so I'm not doing that. So it's very basic. So I don't know. It worked that time, but why is it not working this time? Like, was that just, it just happened to work and now it really doesn't work? It just, I don't know. It's not a solid system. Because if I use it then and it worked and I'm still using it and it's not working, that just lets me know that it doesn't work and it just happened to be, just random that time.
A fluke.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. So I guess, do you feel like maybe the reason why it hasn't been consistent is because you don't know when it worked, why it worked?
Yeah. Because because I'm using the same things that I know how to use.
Right.
As far as, what trend is the market? Is there a breaking structure? There's a supply and demand, and then when to enter. So I'm doing that. And, of course I make money from that, but over time, I don't think it's as solid as I was taught for it to be. Or maybe I'm missing something that wasn't explained to me or that I don't understand. Because I see other people using the same method and consistently profitable. But for whatever reason, I don't know what the hindering block is for me when I'm doing the same thing.
Interesting. If you had
Right.
to guess, like, what do you think is like the misconnect? Like you're saying they're literally doing the same exact thing,
Yeah.
to your knowledge?
Yes, to my yes. Very simple, very basic, nothing like out the way, or I'm doing this extra step and I'm not telling you about it. It's supply. I'm not sure if you're familiar with supply and demand, but it's just buyers are at demand and sellers are at supply. Like
Right.
that's it.
Mhm.
And then the Fibonacci is just as far as like where the TP can possibly go to. But I wouldn't consider it like, well, yeah, it is scalping because the Fibonacci would be more like intraday because it may take a while for price to get there depending on volume. But for the most part, I don't know. And then at one time because I was, not passing them, I just took a break. It's like, well, I guess this isn't working. Like I don't like doing the same thing over and over and it's not working. So until I figure out what that
What's
missing
that
piece is,
called, right?
yeah, like because I'm just going nowhere at this point. And if I do the
Exactly.
same thing this time next year, I don't want to be at the same point. So what is it? Something that I can't see? I don't know if it's a mind block. I'm looking at my trades. Like I had them on, my phone to also review as well, like on TradingView. So I don't know at this point. And I don't want to give up.
Okay.
So
Got it. So I guess I'm curious with what you have learned so far, right? The method, obviously it hasn't been consistent. Where did you learn? Have you done a mentorship before? Are you just on YouTube, or like where did you get like the information?
on YouTube, and I was in a Discord with someone for a couple of months, and that's the method that he taught.
Okay. Got it. And that Discord, was it paid, free thing, or how was that?
Oh no, it was paid. It was like a monthly subscription, and you could cancel anytime.
Gotcha. Are you still in that now?
No.
Okay. Why did you cancel? Just because the results weren't really working?
Right. And it was a lot of people in there, like 500 plus people in there. And so you'd get your questions answered by other people in the group, unless you would, send him a message directly.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'm familiar with like the online business side of things. It sounds like he just had like a low ticket, what you would call it, funnel. I'm guessing it was like somewhere from like $97 a month, or maybe even 30, something like that. Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So that's definitely, it can be helpful in general, but I guess in terms of like support, I'm getting the sense that you want someone more like with you, right? Supportive. What would you say you're looking for in terms of like a mentor?
Someone to just help like guide me through this process. Like maybe, a different set of eyes that can see exactly, okay, well, I can see clearly like what you're doing wrong, or, what you're looking at. As opposed to just watching videos and trying to figure it out for myself. So maybe, and nobody, in my family trades, so it's not like I can go to them and, do anything there. And it's hard to ask questions on video that you're watching, watching over and over and over. But I don't know, like, I just feel like it's small, but it's one thing that's kind of stopping me from being consistently profitable, which I know is possible because I've seen the money made. It's not a scam. It's just finding something that works for me. And like, of course, when I need to trade, because I work full time. So a lot of times if I'm trading in New York, I'm at work. So I'm a little distracted because I do have people come into my office. I have meetings and I'm trying to look at the charts. I don't know if I missed something, or overall, I understand the 1, 2, 3 concept, but I cannot devote a good hour solely looking at my phone because I have to work. And then
that's big. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's stressful.
Let's dive into that. Let's dive into that. Yeah, I was going to say, because, I mean, if you're working, obviously you're working, the end goal is to replace it with trading ideally, right?
Yes.
So I guess, how is that to where it's like you're going to work, trying to leave, your exit to leave is affected because you're at work? Like, how do you even manage that? It does sound stressful.
Yeah, it is. And it messes with my mind. And I feel like once I lose a trade, it's like, no, I need to make this work because I'm trying to get out of here. Like,
Mm.
then I have
Do you feel like that maybe like that emotion could play into the charts sometimes?
sometimes, yes. Especially when I'm, in a new meeting and now we have a new project coming up and new deadlines. And then I have, a team of 6 people that, feel like it's too much work for them to do. And then I'm taking on some stuff. So I think
Yeah.
I get frustrated, with all that. It's like, oh my goodness, if I would have just made 2,000, I can just walk out, So I think it is emotions because, my trade, I lost my trade and now I have to deal with this. And so I have those emotions of just, oh my goodness, if I won, that I wouldn't have to deal with this. Like it's a lot because I'm a manager at my job and it's just a lot of work.
I can imagine. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess how long has this been going on to where, I mean, one, or just kind of give me like the full picture. Like you're a manager right now. How
Mhm.
long have you been there and ultimately trying to use trading as a vehicle to get out? I'm
A
curious.
year.
A
A
year.
year.
So this past year, you've been focused on like, well, the job obviously naturally, but more importantly, getting out with trading.
Yes. Absolutely.
Got it. And how long have you been working like in that job, or what are you doing for work?
I'm an HR manager.
HR. Okay, cool. And I
Mhm.
assume you've been there longer than a year.
Oh yeah, I've been in HR for years. Almost 9 years.
Wow. Okay, almost a
Almost 9.
decade.
Yeah.
Got it. So that being said, I mean, Melinda, like what happened a year ago to where it's like, you know what, let me try and, pick up this new skill so I can leave. What changed?
Well, my oldest is graduating this year, 4 months. And so she's going to college and I don't want her to get any student loans.
Okay. Gotcha. So ideally, so in 4 months, okay, you'd want to be able to just pay for school outright.
Absolutely. Yes.
Gotcha. Okay. And if we had to put a number to where you'd want to have like set away in the bank in 4 months, like for her, what would that number be?
In 4 months, 30,000.
Okay.
I have 3 children, so yeah, she's the oldest, so yeah, 30. And that would at least be a cushion so we don't have to take away from our household budget to help her with school.
How do you mean like household budget? Like just like extra savings?
The yes, like the mortgage, the day-to-day things, just the regular household bills that we pay.
Right. Okay. Gotcha. And you mentioned if you were making like 2K, you can just leave. Is that 2K a month? If you were making trading, you'd be able to leave the job?
You said 2K? Oh, no. Like a month would be 10,000.
Okay. So 10K
Yeah, I
a
was just
month
saying
to
in a
replace
day,
that.
made 2,000. Of course, that's consistently, not every single
I
day,
see.
but yeah. Like when I had those,
Yeah.
winning trading days, of course, my attitude is different, like especially if I, caught a trade, like pre-New York, and then go to work and I just made $1,500. It's a different kind of vibe or
I was gonna say, how
attitude.
does that feel? It's like,
Yeah,
shit, I
great.
just made like a quarter of my salary in a day.
Right. Exactly. So it's a different like attitude, like mindset. But then if I am in a trade and it loses and it's stop loss hit, or it's my max stop loss for the day, or if my account is blown, or whatever the number, then it shifts my
The
behavior.
opposite.
Yeah, yeah, and I noticed that. Or
Where do
if
you
I'm,
know? Just does it come up? When you say you notice that shift, is it like just throughout work? Is it even at home, like with the kids, or like where are you noticing that?
no, mentally, like in my mind, like I notice like how I'm acting, and especially like if I'm in a trade and someone randomly comes to my office asking me a question that takes my eyes off of my phone or anything, and that split second, like the way price moves, it just completely, and I didn't get a chance to set a stop loss. So this conversation, because they're asking me about something, then I'm turning around and it's like, oh wow, this law, that has happened before as well. And it's not their fault, and I shouldn't be upset with them because I am at work, but it's just, oh my goodness, like this time frame. Like, why would you come in right now?
It could be a difference between $1,500 a day and zero.
Yes.
Right?
Like, why would you come ask me
Yeah,
this question right now at this moment? Or someone's, you know, I'm just, oh. But I can't get upset with them, but at the same time, I am upset with them. So it's just.
I hear you. I hear you. Got you. So, okay. So 10K per month to replace that.
Yeah.
Ideally, have a nice cushion of 30K within the next 4 months for your daughter. Is it just you with the 3 kids, or do you have a husband as well who would be working towards that goal?
You can have a husband as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. What does he do for work, out of curiosity?
He works for Caterpillar. So he does like forklift,
I got
you know, all those like machine parts and stuff like that. So complete opposite of what I do.
Right. Gotcha. And you said no one in your family trades. What's his view on, you know, you doing this? Or like, let's say, I mean, you were to like work with Chelsea, have like a mentor who is more one-to-one. What do you think his opinion would be on that?
What would be what with that?
Like his opinion just on you, like really like
he's
focusing on
supportive.
this.
Oh yeah, he's supportive. I told him, like, he's supportive. He's like, you know, you gotta get it. You know, especially like when I have those days that I lose. Like, don't worry about it. That's okay. That's what you're upset about. He's like, I thought I did something. I was like, no, it's not you. It's not you. He was like, oh, okay, well, don't worry about it. He said, you'll get it. You know, he's very supportive when I'm down on myself. He's like, no, you'll get it. Just keep going. So that's good.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Well, yeah, I guess overall, I am curious as well on like Chelsea specifically. Like, obviously, in terms of mentors, you looked in the Discord, you've been doing this for the past year, right? It sounds like you are like really looking to maybe take this to the next level, have more one-to-one support with you so you can, you know, have that fund to set aside for your daughter, right? As, you know, she goes to college, and I'm sure your other kids start growing as well. But why Chelsea specifically? Like, is this the first time you've looked into maybe some sort of like one-to-one mentorship kind of thing, or have you looked into that before as well?
No, I looked into it before, but it was like a mentorship program with, I think, 20 to 30 people, and it was just for 30 days. And it was like live, like every night, like for working professionals. And it was like, you know, well, it wasn't quite one-on-one, but it was live. So it was like, you know, learning the charts, trading live and like in the mornings and of course in the evenings. So it's like that, what was it, Asian session, New York session, class at 7 p.m. at night until all questions are answered, you know, every week. So that was for 30 days. So it was like an intense type mentorship. And with Chelsea, I was on Instagram and someone had her, I don't know, I guess he was critiquing like different traders or something like that. And he was like, yep, I like how she's trailing the stop, you know. And I think she made, I don't remember, it was a comma, maybe 1,000 or 2,000 or something. And of course, you know how it looks fast. Of course, it didn't probably happen that quickly, but he was critiquing like her trading style. And it was great how she was trailing her stops in order to secure her profit. I was like, well, who's that? And she looked like someone else. Because I thought she was someone else who does, her name is Chelsea. Learn with Chelsea. Yes, she does drop shipping. So they look the same. So I thought it was her. I was like, oh, so now she's into training too, because she does like a whole lot of different other things. And I thought it was her. And then when I looked, I was like, no, I think her last name's a little different, but it's very similar. And so that's when I started looking into like how she traded. I saw the video with the strategy, the 3 things, and I'm used to, you know, having 3 things to look at, and the testimonials too. I thought that was helpful too, and how they talked about her really caring about each individual and really helping you succeed. And I think she mentioned like if you don't make the money within a certain time frame, I guess 6 months, then she'll still work with you until, you know, you get it and that you're profitable, which is good because I have never heard that at all.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing about definitely Chelsea. This program is more like of a one-to-one thing for sure, like direct support with her, and just communication. And yeah, I mean, it's definitely there in terms of that. I mean, like I said, I mean, if you're not profitable, you're literally doing what she's doing. So it's kind of hard not to be profitable. But if for whatever reason, obviously there's other factors in there. I mean, we stick with you until you are. But yeah, cool. Well, I mean, overall, Melinda, like I'm definitely confident we can help you. I honestly think it would be like absolutely perfect just because like the Asian session for now and what we're focusing on, primarily is going to be when you're not in work, right? And I mean, main thing is like now our trades aren't affected at work, right? The stress of work and losing trades. Sure. Sorry, I was just getting a call. But like the stress of work and losing trades, like they won't coincide, right?
Yeah.
Because we'll get home now. Now we can go into the market clear-headed and also have support with it, right? But yeah, I'm definitely confident we can help you. If you'd like, I can just walk you through like the more kind of step-by-step thing, like the whole process we do, just getting you ramped up with Chelsea and see what your thoughts, if you have any questions around that.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Let's do it. So first things first. So coming into this, like you'll meet Chelsea straight away, right? So after this, I'd actually get you booked in onto a call with Chelsea, and we'll just go over kind of like your Melton method, your system. Obviously right now, I think one of the main things you mentioned was you have a system, right? For the past year, we've been studying, right? But honestly, understanding why it works, why it doesn't work, that's going to be the main thing, right? Because if we can understand that, then we know how to actually make changes in the future and just in future trades as well, right? So just really diving in and understanding your whole approach, your whole process. And obviously some things are working, right? So just bringing those things into Chelsea's strategy and approach and gelling the two together, right? So that'll be the first thing, just meeting with Chelsea straight away. Now, on top of that, after that, just in the program, it's in school, by the way. Are you familiar with school?
No. I've heard of
Okay.
it, but I don't have like a school account. I've heard of it.
Okay, yeah. So it's just like a platform like with a bunch of students. I can share my screen and show you really quick, actually. I know you're on your phone, so if you can't see, just let me know.
Okay,
can
I
you
can
see
see
it?
it.
Awesome. So yeah, it's just like a community, right? And like I said, it's not huge because Chelsea honestly doesn't want a huge community and have it like in the Discord where now she's not even replying, students are, and like there's not much one-to-one support. Ultimately, it is like more one-to-one, students posting in here. You could see some wins just literally from yesterday and whatnot, and just people crushing in on those funded accounts. But in that school community, this would be like your bread and butter, the platform that we're on. You could see we have 2 group coaching calls a week. Brandon is, Chelsea's one of Chelsea's coaches that she works with as well. So it's Brandon and Chelsea who are on those coaching calls 3 times per week as well. So you can hop on those and ultimately just see what they're doing, their pre-market strategies, just their approach, all of that. And once again, I think like one of the biggest things for you is just going to be the Asian market, the Asian session, right? Because it does sound like, sometimes maybe your method could have been profitable and more consistent if there was just more focus, if there wasn't other distracting factors, right? So I honestly think that'll really be a game changer. And then on top of having now more support in the time where you are more with like the trading as well, there's just really like the margin for error just significantly shrinks, right?
Okay.
But in that community as well, obviously we have like different modules, coursework, just really diving in deep into Chelsea's strategy. And definitely, I think this is often overlooked in the world of trading, but just stuff outside of trading, right? Conserving your energy, how to, reset your state after a full days of work and go into trading with a clear mind so those emotions don't affect how, your approach is, right? So definitely like just different things and tactics that Chelsea has developed through her life in trading specifically, and just kind of passing that down to, you as a student. But any questions on that so far?
You said modules. Is this like, I don't know, like 20 modules, and like it's going to take some time to get through them before you really understand like how she trades? Or is it just like a basic, this is market structure, this is what I look for, or like what is that? And that's just in the community, so you only have access to that as long as you're in the community.
Right. So the community is lifetime access, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's the
Okay.
modules are self-paced as well. It's a little bit of everything. Definitely some more nuanced, in-depth stuff with the Asian market that maybe you haven't seen before. But we do have people who get into trading that we also work with sometimes as well. So there is kind of like those definitions, more like simple stuff we could say for those beginners as well. But overall in coursework, I'd say it's anywhere from, I think, about like 15 to 20 hours total. But once again, it's all self-paced, and you can always just skip around and see like where you're most valuable. And more importantly, like on that first call with Chelsea, you guys having the chat of like where you're at in the process and the stages, she can point you in the direction of like, okay, hit this coursework first. This is going to be more up your speed and allow you to just get in, get and go as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you said the coaching calls are 3 times a week.
Yeah, 3 times a week.
Are those during the Asian session, or is that during the day?
Correct. So it's at 9 p.m. Eastern.
Okay.
Yeah. You said you were located where again? I forgot.
I'm in South Carolina.
South Carolina. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Eastern as well. Yeah. So more in the Asian session. Exactly.
Okay. And then I guess you would go more over like the homework piece of it and giving feedback on what you did right or what you did wrong or something like that.
Yeah, 1000%. So in that community as well, like there's always communication happening, right? So, I mean, you as a member can post just general discussion. She'll reply to those posts. Chelsea always shares her pre-market analysis. So you as well going into the market on, you know, maybe those days where you can't hop on a coaching call or there just isn't one that day since it's only 3 days a week. You're still seeing her pre-market analysis on specific days. So you can go ahead and go into it with the right approach as well, right? But she also, you know, does trade breakdowns in the community and ultimately just shares any new insights she has, right? So you can actually drop in losses if you want them reviewed, and she'll review that as well as our head coach, Brandon, as well as, you know, just different homework and overall announcements, right? So she does have like little like homework things and just making sure that obviously, you know, we're in tune with what is going on in the market, news, all of that stuff. But yeah, the community, it's just really good because you can also see other people's losses reviewed. I think that's overlooked as well, because now, you know, you're really understanding the why behind it, which, you know, we touched on, definitely important. But yeah.
Okay. 15 to 20 hours. Is there anything done on the weekends, or is it just when the market is open? Because I know some will have like a mindset type call like on Saturday mornings. Is that something like that, or is it just during the week?
Typically, the coaching calls specifically are during the week.
Okay.
Chelsea has thought about like doing something like that, like just more mindset overall call around that. But right now, like on the weekends, we don't have any coaching calls like that are live.
Gotcha. Okay. And she live trades as well with the community? Okay. And that's like once or twice a week?
Yeah, I believe once a week.
Okay. Okay.
What are your thoughts so far?
I was thinking about like the YouTube video that I saw. But of course, you know, on YouTube, everything is quick. So you don't get like every, like, you know, bit of detail, and you're able to ask questions.
Are you referring to like one of hers YouTube, you mean?
Yeah. I think the link that you sent me.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Is there any trading on Sunday night? Because I know Asian session opens on Sunday night. Or is it just, are we talking Monday through Friday?
Yeah. So the coaching calls, like the days that we have them, they're on Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Okay. And that's at 9 p.m.
9 p.m. all of them. Yeah, same time.
Monday. Okay. Well, that's not bad because I'm done with everything. That's EST, right?
Exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I think she's in New York as well. So,
Okay.
or New York, yeah.
That's not bad. Um, Now I know like with the what is the map like for the 6 months? Like, are we just in this community, or is there some type of structure as far as, all right, we're focusing on this for the first 4 weeks. The next 4 weeks we're looking at this. The next four, or something like that, or is it just we're in this community for 6 months and I'm going through the videos like self-paced, I ask questions, we have the live calls, but is there some type of, I don't want to say deadline, but where we should be at a certain time because of the 6 month, window that she's giving each member? Like, what does
For
that
sure.
roadmap look like?
Yeah. So as far as like the 6 month window, it is kind of just depends. At the end of the day, it is just a time frame. That's just to make sure and to give like you said, you haven't seen it before, right? So just to
Yes.
give people more comfort that it's like, okay, like I'm going to be okay,
Mhm.
right? Because I mean, we don't like promising guarantees, like you're guaranteed X amount after X amount of time. Like it's
Right.
just not realistic, right?
Mhm.
That being said, as far as like the whole roadmap, we have people from all types of places, right? We have full-time traders who come and work with Chelsea and just kind of really get into the Asian session. We have people who've never even seen a chart come through, right? So that's what, I guess, to answer your question, and I know maybe it not be what exactly like you're looking for, it would really just depend. Like once you dive in, like on the first call with Chelsea, like that's what it's for, is to create that specified roadmap because it's customized to each individual.
Okay.
Right. Like
Okay.
if you came on and you were like, I've lost 10,000 every month for the last 5 months. Okay, like obviously that's why I'm here. So understand like what's behind that, why, maybe outside factors, this and that. And then we can communicate that with Chelsea. And obviously her approach in, where in the mentorship you would go, obviously probably mindset stuff for that individual, right? And really diving in deep, having them, go into a good approach, right? For someone like you, if I had to guess, kind of like I said before with Chelsea, understand like your methods, your systems, understand why not they're working, right? Almost like a live like trade breakdown, but not really looking at a chart.
Mhm.
And then from there, okay, go here first or go there.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. So just getting in this mentorship is seeing how she looks at the market and going off of her method, as opposed to, because there's so many different ways of seeing the market and being profitable. But this is just kind of putting all that aside and, soaking in how she looks at it and understanding her concepts.
Yes and no, because like you said, there's so many ways of looking at that are profitable. So it's not to say that your ways right now, aren't somewhat working. Like you said, you're not, dead negative, you're like break even, right? So something is, doing right. But now you have another perspective on, something that has been working for Chelsea consistently. She does this full time. But that being said, gelling that into what works as well, gelling that into what you already know. Now, for someone coming in who hasn't seen a chart, then yeah, it would be okay, just fully buying in, just doing what she says. This is her method, it's my method now too, right? But like I said, that's where it's kind of like that customized approach that we do here.
Okay. Okay. Like for me, would I have that option to take on hers like as a beginner, or I would have to still stick with
1,000%. Yeah, Melinda, like at the end of the day, it's mentorship. So that doesn't mean you come in here, Chelsea's going to be like, do this, this, and this, and that's it. If you don't do that, like 6 months goes by, I'm not like, nothing like that at all, right? If you want to come into this just with a full blank slate and just be like, you know what? I've been using a method. Obviously, for the past year, it hasn't been working. I'm just going to fully put that under the rug and adopt a new one, come in as a beginner, kind of just start fresh. I mean, I think that's a great way of going about it, a great approach. Because obviously, what Chelsea is doing is working. It has worked for countless other people. So, yeah, it's just a conversation about, hey, Chelsea, like, I know this is the method I've been using. Coming into this, I really like you. I like your strategy. And I just want to kind of start fresh like one of those newer students. That's what kind of like that onboarding call is for.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, that sounds good then.
Awesome. Yeah, I guess that being said, I mean, obviously, like I said, it's customized, but we definitely still have, a process that, we're going through. So hopefully that was helpful. Any other questions at all about the process specifically?
No, that was helpful.
Okay, great. What are your thoughts overall? Like coming into this, as I'm enrolling new students, obviously I want you guys, level-headed coming into this confident. Like, are you confident that based on what you have seen, obviously you've watched some of Chelsea's stuff as well, that it has what you need to see consistent results? It has what you need. You're like, okay, well, if I actually did put in the time, effort, and energy, maybe had that one-on-one support that I haven't had in the past year, I can actually work towards replacing my job now on a session that is when I'm off of work as well. Or what are your thoughts?
I do, because I'm not distracted with work. And I was really trying to work Asian session, I want to say since last year. But of course, I was told, well, there's no volatility, you're not going to be profitable, blah, blah, blah. You need to go in New York because then that's when the markets move. But then I feel like I'm in New York and I get dragged, and I don't want to be dragged in this market with everybody stampeding, trying to get to one thing. But I was trying to do the method that I was, taught to do in Asian. And to me, it seems like it just doesn't work, or it just moves slow, or just being able to understand like what's happening and not, going in the opposite direction of the market. Like, I don't care if it buys or sells. I just want to ride the wave as to where it's going. And so trying to do that in Asian, I think Asian just gives me more of that. Okay, I'm home, I'm relaxed, I've done everything I need to do. Now I can just focus an hour or two on this chart, set it, either trail my stop or just leave it, and be able to be profitable during a time frame where no one's going to be coming into my office asking me a million and one questions. So with that piece, and the fact that I can just trade like a couple of days like out the week is definitely what like I'm looking for to replace like my salary. So I do, because I mean, the other mentor, he did both, like New York and Asian, but would always stress the importance of New York. He did Asian because a lot of people worked and they still like want to scalp and be profitable. But it was, again, it's a lot of people. It's hundreds and hundreds of people.
Right.
And you're trying to get your questions answered, and it's kind of vague, or it's not what you're really asking, because they just give you like a broad overview. Like if I'm asking, I don't know, something basic like, can you write out the higher high and the higher low and the lower high and lower low? And they're just talking and putting their mouse over it, as opposed to writing out HHHL so I can see it, so more visual, and just getting like a, vague kind of response. So I think with this, the fact that it's small, it's during a session where I can focus, and then it's self-paced, like, understanding, and also the homework piece helps as well, because you're getting that, okay, yeah, you did this, but you need to kind of make a change here is helpful, as opposed to I'm just doing the homework, but I have no one checking it, and I don't even know if it's right or wrong, but I'm gonna keep doing it because no one is telling me that it's wrong, and then I'm thinking it's right, but it's not working, and now it makes sense. So yeah, that whole total package thing.
Yeah. So just stressing the importance of, this is about a market specifically that fits the time zones. You'll have now the mentorship and the support to get the feedback that you're looking for, and hopefully just a clear path into actually, having that fund set aside, replacing the job, as ASAP sounds like.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's great. Yeah. I was just in a meeting yesterday, and I was just like, oh my goodness. And then that's when I think Chelsea sent me that link to sign up, because I tried to the other night, I think it was Thursday, and I couldn't because there was like no times available. And I was like, oh goodness. And then it just came, and I saw Saturdays. It said Saturday, I think Sunday, Monday, whatever. And the first time, the first day, first time is when I hadn't booked it. So yeah, it was a long meeting. It was a very long meeting. All these changes for 2026, things that we need to do. And I was just like, Lord, please help me.
Already knowing. When's the 10-year mark for you?
Oh my goodness. November of 27.
Okay. Well, hopefully you don't see that. Hopefully you don't see that. But yeah, no, listen, Melinda, I'm excited as well. I'm definitely confident we can help you. Like if I had to we could say like an avatar on who we're looking for something like this, like you fit that to the T, right? Because Chelsea's goal is, to help those 9-to-5ers get out. I'm sure you saw a little bit of her story, but that's really kind of where she sees the passion behind that. And it's definitely profitable. You just got to know the good approach on the right session.
Right. Absolutely. Because I definitely can't do London. I'm asleep.
100%. Cool. Well, where do you want to go from here?
So you said after this, then I would book a call with Chelsea?
Yeah. So after this, I'd go into the numbers. Obviously, there's an investment to this. So I'd go over the numbers.
Mhm.
Once process on the call with me here today, I'll get you in that school community so you can going to like kind of the start here, and I'll go booked in Chelsea's calendar as well, and we should be good to go.
Okay. So what does that look like? What is, you said the numbers?
Yeah. So in total, for the next like 6 months in general, the total is 5,500 as the investment. Now that's if you split it up. We definitely have some different financing options and things like that just to really chunk it down, because we know like sometimes people in the 9 to 5, like obviously finances is an obstacle, right? So we do have ways to break it down if that's something that you want to look into. But if you do pay in full as well, it is a $500 discount. So we like to reward those people who pay in full because we see better results, because typically they're just more all in, if they do have the set aside. But yeah, I mean, what are your thoughts on that? We can definitely look at like those different financing options to break it down if that's something that you'd be open to as well.
Okay, so it's 5,500 with payment options, and then if I pay in full, it's only 5,000.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. That's an investment. I think the last investment was like 3,200, something like that. And I don't have to pay that right now.
Yeah, it's just one time for lifetime access. It's not like a every 6 month kind of thing.
Right, but I would have to pay that like right now while I'm on the phone with you.
Yeah, we'd get you set up.
Okay. 5,000. Because I think in my survey I put 1 to 3.
Okay.
For the investment. It's like, what are you willing to invest in this? And I think I saw 0 to 1,000, 1 to 3, and then 3 to 5. I didn't want to do 3 to 5, so I did the 1 to 3. But this is 5. Okay. Okay. Gotcha. All right. Well, considering this is outside of what I was looking to invest, oh my gosh. Well, I won't be able to do 5,000 right now to get started.
Okay.
So.
Do you want to do it? That's like the main thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I do want to do it. And I can't adjust, anyone's prices when it comes to, what they offer.
Right. Look, at the end of the day, Melinda, like I said, we have some financing options to break it up. And most of the students who do use that, I mean, obviously with the results end up just paying it off with what they're getting from trading. Right. Do you want to like to talk about like what that looks like? There's a few like different ones.
Yeah. Is it, well, yeah, go ahead and tell me, because I'm thinking like PayPal or some type of,
Yeah, so we do have
credit
stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, yeah, we do have like PayPal, Pay Later, and then we have Payva, which is also like a financing that breaks it up. And then also Klarna. I'm sure you've heard of Klarna before.
Yeah, I have.
And then out of curiosity, how's your credit? Do you have like a credit card with like a decent limit?
Yes, I do.
Okay. What's that limit?
25,000.
Amazing. So this one probably might be like the best thing for you. And we'd still give you the pay in full discount of 5K, not 55. But it's called Split It, right? So what this does is it'll take your credit card for the 25K and it'll put a hold for 5K. It won't charge it for 5K. It'll put a hold like a hotel does, right? So it'll put a hold. This is good because it doesn't report to the bureaus that you're utilizing that amount, right? Just the hold. And then depending on the payment plan you choose, it's 6, 12, and I think like 18. It'll pull that amount from the hold every month. So it's like, it's killer. It's pretty cool.
It's called Split.
It's called Split It. Yeah.
Okay. So it will put the 5,000 on my 25,000 card, but it won't report to the bureau. And then every month it'll take out, or either 6 months, 12 months, or 18 months, it'll take out, I don't know, let's just say 500.
Whatever the
a month.
math is, yeah.
Yeah,
on
whatever
that.
the math is. But 500 just sounds easier because it's 5,500 a
Whatever.
month from it. And then that gets reported to the bureau that it's paying.
Exactly. So let's say it's 5K. It does take 10% down. So it would be 500 down on that first like charge. That's what it reports to the bureau. And then next month, if we just said it's 500 every month, then at 500, then that would report to the bureau. So a lot of people who, not everyone has great credit or like a high card, right? So kudos to you. But a lot of people who do utilize that because it's also zero interest, by the way. It's literally just a payment plan.
So I would just pay my credit card 500 each month.
Even less if you, as long as you make your minimum payment, you're good. But yeah.
I never heard that.
Yeah. If you want, I could shoot over the link just to see like the plan so we can actually see like the numbers. Cause I think it's 6, 12, and 18. It might even go up to 24. So the payment plan like could be like super small. And obviously throughout that whole time you'll be trading, right? So it just allows students to just pay it off a lot sooner whenever they want, really, with their profits from the investment as well.
Yeah, can you send me the link?
Yeah. Okay. And then in the Google Meet, you said the chat button. I could text it to you or just drop it in the chat. What would be easier?
Oh, text it to me.
Okay.
Because I don't know where that chat button is in this thing.
Yeah, it's a little, when you're on the phone, it's definitely like for all the buttons, it's a little bit harder.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll open it up with you. And then once it's open, it's just like the last one. So you could see Split It monthly credit card payments.
It already has my email, my card on here.
Oh, really? You probably used WAP before then. You might have a WAP.
have. Yes. I have definitely used WAP. Split. Split It. After checking out, you will be redirected to Split It. So then put your purchase.
And then for the school community, is your email, the one that you booked in with, is that the same one? Okay, if I get you an invite there?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. How old are your two other kids, like the younger ones?
Let's see, 18, 16, and 14.
Oof.
Yeah, as soon as
Aldine.
they started walking, then I was pregnant.
Okay, wow. Wow. Oh yeah, so they're all going to be graduating pretty soon then, like back to back to back.
Yes.
Do you know where your daughter's going yet?
USC.
Okay, so right there, that's good.
I don't get my card. 1 second.
Okay, no worries. me pulling up Chelsea's calendar as well now. See what she's got.
So I would do it says paying 6 would be 833.
Okay.
Paying 3 payments would be 1666. And paying 4 would be 5,000.
Yeah, paying 6 for sure, the longest one.
Okay, so this is in a 618. Oh, I thought you said it was like 12. No, 6, 12, and
Yeah,
8.
6, 12, 18. I guess it just depends on maybe like the specific one. But yeah, I guess that's what you were like approved for. What would 6 be? 8 something?
Oh, this is based off of what I'm approved for? Oh yeah, it says because all I do is put my credit card in.
Okay. Maybe it's like a soft pull on the name potentially.
You said it's a soft pull on the name?
Yeah, like I'm honestly not sure, but there's some workaround to where it like scans something like a soft pull to see like how they would want to break it up. But it's still through like the same way. So it'd be like the credit card, authorized hold, and then monthly installment.
So this doesn't, it says it's going to fit my budget, but this does not fit my budget. $833. Well, what's the detail of this? So $833 is going to be reported to the bureau.
It would, yes, that'd be like the first. Correct. Yeah, it should be, yeah, break it down there. You can share your screen if you want, so I can see, but it might be hard on the phone. But exactly. So the only amount that is reported is what it's pulling. It wouldn't report the whole 5K.
And that would be a month from today?
That would be correct, the first installment. But it does take something today, 10%. So it'd be 500 today, and then 800, whatever that number is, in 30 days. I mean, ultimately, Melinda, like, once again, it is just a matter of like, do you believe, because it just breaks it up for you, but do you believe that, coming in with the support and everything that, you will start seeing more consistent results? Also, since you're in the Asian session at home. Are you with me?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
I am just thinking. I have thinking. Okay, $500 today. So I would need to pay that. Plus $830. I'll need to pay that. Plus another $830. I need to pay that.
Mm-hmm.
I guess my hesitation is
Here, Melissa, can I offer a quick perspective?
yeah,
Are you sure?
yeah.
Okay.
I'm
Right
looking into the
now,
trees. I'm looking to the trees. That's all.
all good, all good. Look, right now, I don't know if you can see me, but
Mhm.
right now it's just numbers, right? You're thinking about payments, you're thinking about money
Mhm.
leaving my account, right?
Mhm.
But in these moments, we just have to come back to reality. Well, what is this amount for? What are you investing in, right? Ultimately, a skill set. Ultimately, support that you feel like can get you out of that 9 to 5 eventually, right?
Yeah.
So look, I mean, at the end of the day, I understand it's a number and it's nothing small by all means. But I also know that in these moments, the perspective that we look at that number matters. Because if we look at it like, okay, I have to pay that, I have to pay that, I have to
Yep.
pay that, it's a bill.
Yep.
But if we look at it like, okay, I have to pay this, but in these months when I'm paying this, I'm also learning. I'm also getting support. I'm also seeing trades win. I'm also seeing that green number, seeing and feeling like those days when you made 1,500 in a day and you're like, why am I even working?
Right. So, but this amount will have to be paid whether I'm profitable trading or not.
1,000%, Melinda. But ultimately, you know, we're going to have the support. Who is it up to, you know, put in that time, effort, and energy to ultimately see good results? Because all those students who you see on testimonials, I mean, I'm not going to, they put in the work. They were communicative with Chelsea. They were posting in the community. They were getting feedback. They were doing the homework. If you come in and don't do those things, of course, I mean, you're going to have to pay for that and you're probably not going to be profitable, right? But once again, for you, it's like you've been doing this for a year, right? Like you said, I mean, just being at work on those meetings, it's like, what am I even doing right now? Right? So I feel like, you know, from our conversation, you're at that point where you would be willing to put in that time, effort, and energy, but it is a decision that's yours at the end of the day. The last thing I'd want to do is, you know, see the wrong perspective, see it just as a bill, because that perspective isn't in congruence with you ultimately making 10K a month in trading and not working anymore.
That is a huge investment.
It's big. And guess what, Melinda? The
This is not,
longer that you look at the number, it's not going to shrink.
listen, I know, but this is not like I'm looking, and I guess with like past experience as well, I'm trying to couple and trying to make a wise decision here and not go off impulse. I mean, I got a whole family. I'm not trying to,
I know.
you
I'm
know,
with you. And
I'm
look,
seeing
that's
this, and
why.
I know what's required, and this has to be paid whether I'm profitable or not. Like this still has to be paid, and this is on like my credit. This is on, you know, do you have enough in your savings to ensure that this is paid in case this doesn't happen the way you foresee it or hope for it to be? Even though I know I'm going to put the
100%.
work. Like there's no question. I have no reservations about myself and my willingness, and if I have to get up early and stuff, like I know me. So I'm confident in me. I don't know you all. Not saying I'm not confident in you all and trust anything, but at the same time, it's like from past mentors, the hope was to do the same, but then it didn't happen. And I
Right.
was left with the bill of having to pay that, which I did because I don't want my name to be tarnished, but I don't want to get burned twice. What is that saying that that grandma say? Well, then, Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Something like that. Maybe, or the opposite.
Yeah, Melinda, but
I
once
have to-
again, it's about the perspective. Look, I'm with you. I hear you. I've invested in a lot of stuff with credit that I didn't have, 100%. But at the end of the day, it's like, do you want to go into the perspective with, well, I've been burned. Like, what if it happens again? What if this? And then I'll have to do that. And then I have to, do you want to go into that? Like, look, I've been burned, but now I know how to look at the next one and really break it down and understand if this is what I want to do. Right? So look, yes, you're going to have to pay it 100%. But do you really think that, based on everything we've gone over, obviously the community, the homework, the one-to-ones, the coaching calls, and your own work ethic, do you honestly believe that after 6 months, you'll see absolutely nothing from this and you'll just have a 5K bill at the end of it?
No.
Why not?
I mean, if I just get in and don't do anything and just go about, my own thing, of course, but if I don't do that and do like
And
what I
another
know I'm
thing,
able to do, then
and another thing, while we're on the topic of past experiences, the
Mhm.
past mentor, have you ever had a mentor that said that they would keep working with you for free until you are profitable?
no.
No. Right? So the worst case scenario is you don't do anything. You see absolutely nothing from the program. 6 months go by and your $25,000 card limit has a 5K bill on it, right? But worst case scenario, this is still like devil's advocate. We're still helping you trade no matter what. And I mean, we can play devil's advocate all day, but I hate doing that because why not play God's advocate? But if you come by and, next month, you're doing amazing, getting great feedback from Chelsea, you're the next testimonial. The next 4 months, you have half of that 30K saved in the bank for your daughter going to college. And we can always talk about hypotheticals, but ultimately, what perspective is going to support the belief of you hitting those goals? Definitely not negative ones.
Yeah. Just curious, did you go through this? I mean, are you like one of her not mentors, mentees who went through the program and now you're able to kind of
I am not, no.
No.
To be frank with you, I don't even trade. But what I
What?
am good at, Melinda, what I am good at is guiding people through this. So I'm
What?
actually I'm the sales manager for like Chelsea's team for here. Right. But obviously, I know everything that Chelsea does. Obviously, I know the terminology, I know the lingo, but that's just not where my focus is. I have a whole software company I'm working on as well. That being said,
Okay.
that being said, enough about me. What I am good at is this right now, helping you make the decision, helping people through these situations that they've not used to, they're not done before.
Yeah, I guess we got to know our strengths and operate in that lane. So that's great.
For sure.
Zion, I mean, your name is powerful. I mean, it is.
Appreciate it.
833, $500 a day. So that means I will have to pay that next month. And the 833 I have to pay also next month, right? But I will have to pay 1,300 in 30 days.
Right now, in 30 days, technically, I guess, yeah, because it'd be 500 now today would pull from that balance. And then in 30 days, then the payment plans would start. Yeah.
But when the payment plans start 30 days from today, so February 17th, the amount that they pull today would be due, which is the 500.
I guess in terms of credit, but are you familiar with like how credit works? I know a lot about credit, so I can help you understand that.
I don't use it often, but when I do use it, I pay it off within 30 days because I don't want the interest. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. What does this look like?
Which is great. So just so you know, right? To keep your credit score healthy, good, no matter what, you don't have to pay the full amount in 30 days. Now, that doesn't mean go buy a Birkin and then not pay it, right? But it's amazing to use credit in situations like this, right? Because at the end of the day, this isn't a bill. Once again, it's an investment. So how it works, 25K you have, right? To be healthy to the bureaus, you want to be under a 30% utilization, right? So just to do quick math, right? 25,000 times 30% is 7,500. So if we were technical, right, and you to be healthy with the credit bureaus, even if, let's just say devil's advocate, 6 months go by and you have a 5K bill on your credit card, which you won't, because once again, you'd be putting something toward, you'd still be healthy with the credit bureaus because your utilization is still under 30%. So you'd still be fine. So that's what I'm saying. It is very powerful for someone like you who obviously is competent but has a high credit limit on the card.
And people in the community, they trade with prop firms and also live account, or?
Yeah, so funded accounts, exactly.
Because I don't want to trade. I mean, I do have a live account, but I don't want to trade live until I get a payout, so I can put that money in there because I don't want to have to use,
Of course,
my savings.
for sure, yeah.
So based off of, I don't know, I guess on average, someone comes in, everybody's going to be different. I heard the young lady say something about her first combine and she had to pay out. I don't know what the amount was, but it doesn't take long to pass combines. I don't know. I guess what I'm asking is, did that take her 30, 60, 90 days? Obviously joining, I'm not going to pass the combine on Tuesday when the market's open or whatever it is, because I have to go through and learn. What is I guess it's self-paced, but are we looking at now? I'm doing you see what I'm saying? I'm trying to.
It's a hard question to answer though.
It is. It is hard to come out because I'm just trying to figure out what am I looking at.
Very contextual, right?
Yeah.
But if I tried, and I don't want to just give you answers that I'm not sure about. I don't like doing that. But I mean, if you're really on it, there's no reason why within 60 days you don't have that, and that's on the longer end, right? But it just is contextual to the individual, just because you come in here doesn't mean your emotions are just going to drop when you turn on the charts.
Right.
At the end of the day, it's still up to you to do the internal work as well. But yeah, it's contextual. The testimonials are great, but once again, all of those students did what they needed to do on their end, took ownership to see those results. So,
and that's the program is the Beyond the Charts.
Yeah.
And that's not separate. That's all inclusive with the mentorship.
Yeah, everything together.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay. And I would start today, or do I start after I talk to her? Because I guess
no, you could start today. Yeah. So I just looked. So I'll get you in the school community literally right now. And then her earliest time is Tuesday. There's a few times there, so we can book that in for Tuesday for the one-on-one with Chelsea. But you can still just look at some of those modules, go through some stuff for sure. Just see the whole outlook, check out posts, check out other students' homework. You can still definitely be productive this weekend.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, since interest 0%, I guess the monthly is $833, but all of it has to be paid off in 6 months.
Like I said, it doesn't have to be. You'd still be fine if you honestly left it. But obviously, we're not going to do that. I'm not saying do that, but I'm just giving you the comfort there that you're good with the credit as well.
Okay. But if I need to pay, I'm just saying $500 instead of the $833. I'm not going to be dinged on my credit.
No, I mean, I'm not the bureaus. But,
right. But I'm just saying,
but
if
at
this
the end
is
of the
an
day,
estimate. Yeah.
Maybe a point or two, you'll be fine. It'll be fine. And it'll change. Obviously once the balance is paid off, you have more months. I mean, we presume that you come in here, you'll be making more money from trading as well. You'll be fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I see why the community is small, which is good because this is heavy. Like every, and these economic times, it's not something,
I mean,
it's different if it's $100 trading community, right? Everybody's
that's what I was going to say. If we go back to the Discord you were in,
Yeah.
I mean, there's sure the amount of people in there are so much higher, but the results are also way less, right? Because
that's true.
It's less of an investment, a commitment, for sure.
That is true. Because $100, I mean, you can eat that. But 5 bands? This we are not playing. This is the big league.
Hey, well, getting out of the job isn't playing either, right?
Yep.
We gotta play big.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
I'm right here with you.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Tuesday. Let's see. Let me know when that's processed.
Yeah, I went through it, gave me the little confetti.
Okay, cool. Tuesday.
All right, you got all the info, so how do you actually land an offer now? Lucky for you guys, I have the full breakdown. I've never seen anyone else on YouTube do this the right way on how to actually land an offer with 0 experience in 2026. Once you guys have the skill sets, you have everything you need to land an offer. So watch this in full, take notes on it. Let's get into it. First things first, we have this Venn diagram right here. In the left box right here, you're gonna write down things that you are knowledgeable about or enjoy, okay? When I first got my first high ticket sales role, this is something I really focused on because if you don't have any experience in sales, you're gonna wanna speak the language of whatever niche you end up working in. Write down random stuff that I'm knowledgeable about and enjoy doing. All right, so we're gonna start one, content. Literally just say anything you want. Let's just do videography, cooking / diet. You guys can literally just spitball anything that you guys are knowledgeable about or enjoy. Making money. Let's do finance / stocks. So just spitball a bunch of random stuff that you guys enjoy doing day to day. This will make your life a lot easier when you're finding outreach. Find content creators and people talking about these niches. All right. So right here, let's just say you have, 5 to 10 different things that you heavily enjoy doing. We're gonna go to ChatGPT real quick. You wanna search something like top niches content creators will sell programs on in the next 5 years. All right, number 1 is gonna be artificial intelligence and tech skills. Tech skills, so teaching people how to do AI or tech. All right, number 2, content growth, creator economy. All right, so right here, I have the top 4 highest earning niches in the next 5 years that content creators are gonna be selling programs, teaching people how to do. So what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna find a nice little middle area of something that you are already knowledgeable about and enjoy, plus one of these top 4 or 5 highest earning niches, okay? So what you're gonna wanna do is find the number 1 thing that you feel like is gonna resonate with you the most. In the middle, you're going to do courses or mentorships that you would like to sell the best. Perfectly match up in between these two of what's gonna make you money and what you actually enjoy. Do fitness coaching. All right, so that's number 1. Let's do, you're gonna wanna write down 2 or 3 that you feel like go in between what you enjoy, what you're knowledgeable about, and the highest earning niches are gonna be in the next 5 years, okay? So once you figure this out, once you have it, so I'm gonna start right here. I'm gonna do number 1, fitness coaching. You're gonna have a general baseline of who you want to outreach, okay? All right, so if I was brand new starting in high ticket sales, I'm gonna do teaching people how to get better at content. That is something that I enjoy and that's something that I feel like would be a great niche for me to sell for. What you're gonna wanna do from here is you're gonna wanna go to YouTube and you're gonna wanna compile a bunch of different influencers that are teaching people how to get better at content. How to get better at content. So how to get better at content in 2025 on YouTube. I'm gonna click search and I'm gonna click recently uploaded to find a bunch of new influencers that are coming up talking about this topic. For example, this guy right here, Nate Black, the new YouTube technique that's exploding small channels. He only has 80,000 subscribers, so he's not super famous. And I assume obviously that this guy is making some sort of mentorship program right here. Join Radical Creators Group, a full video channeling technique. You're gonna put up your first name, your email.
So the goal is to become a sales rep for this guy, because not only do you enjoy content creation or whatever niche you ended up choosing, this is something that you actually could see yourself doing full time and become a sales rep for. So we're going to compile a bunch of these people. Nate Black. You're going to want to get his email right here, Nate Black. And then you're also going to want to get his Instagram. You don't want to do this with hundreds of creators. You want to do this with anywhere from like 3 to 5 solid creators that fit the criteria that you're looking for. And then once we compile those creators, we're going to go to the outreach section. More of these creators, I'll do it with you guys. So you can start to search up different things, like how to get better at content ideation. This guy right here, James Smith.
There's nothing
He has 50K subscribers.
worse than
This is a great dude to guarantee you he's selling a program. If you want to see information about my mentorship and how to join, dude is selling a mentorship. So all these guys are selling mentorships, and all these guys also need good high ticket sales reps to sell this for them, because obviously you're not hopping on the phone with this guy when you're joining the mentorship. You're hopping on the phone with one of his sales reps or team members. You want to do the same process.
I appreciate that.
And notice how all these guys, they don't have too many subscribers, right? It's always a small amount. It's nothing crazy. It's not millions and millions. So I guarantee that if you have good energy, you know a lot about the topic, you're not a complete bot, there's no reason they wouldn't at least attempt to interview you. All right, so once you compile anywhere from 3 to 5 solid, you guys can do this. I want you to pause this video and take the next maybe 30 to an hour to compile a bunch of different influencers that you would genuinely love to work for and you like their content. We're going on to the next step, which is going to be reaching out to these people the correct way, not like a bot like every other person in the world does it. And I'm gonna teach you guys how to do that and how to actually engage them to not completely ruin your reputation like most of these people do when outreaching in high ticket sales. So this is the 4-step outreach plan that I kind of came up with on how to actually get them to, number 1, open your actual outreach, number 2, get them to like you, and then number 3, potentially listen to your pitch to get on the team as a sales rep. All right, so the first things you want to do, I would reach out to them via DM. Okay, I would DM them on Instagram and compliment something specific about their content. Say, hey, I really liked the last video you posted about XYZ. It really resonated with what I'm trying to do in the future, XYZ, to try to get them to open that first email. All right, and once they open that first email, you're going to want to mention that you signed up for their program and that the sales rep took a while to reach out to them. All right, what this is going to do is going to immediately let them know that they are wasting money by having some sort of sales reps on their team that aren't reaching out to them in time. You don't want to throw their sales reps under the bus. You don't want to be that guy. But if you genuinely did fill out their application form for their mentorship and no one reached out to you for like 30 to 40 minutes, you could 100% pull that card and say that their sales rep took at least like 45 minutes to reach out to them. Pretty much from there, you can offer to help increase conversions or close leads by you becoming an appointment setter on their team. Because if their current appointment setter is taking 30 to 40 minutes to reach out to every lead, it's gonna be such an easy opportunity for you to slide in because they're not doing their job correctly. So the key principle I'm kind of basing this off of is that relevance beats volume, okay? So 3 to 5 personalized messages is gonna destroy 300 copy paste of people you don't even know what they do, you don't know their niche. It's not gonna make sense for them to take you on their team. So for you to actually sit there and understand what these people do, you resonate with them, you understand the topics that they're talking about, it's gonna make it a lot easier for them to not only respond, but once they do interview you, it's gonna be a no-brainer for you to get on. You do have to do volume if you're doing this. If you're outreaching, they don't know who you are. They don't deserve to give you anything, let alone time out of their day. So I wouldn't recommend 3 personal messages. I would say anywhere from 10 to 20 personalized messages of people every single day if you are fully committed to doing this and really actually care about getting these people to respond, okay? Side note, if a lot of these people aren't responding that have, 50 to 80,000 subscribers, start to work your way down to people that have 5 to 10,000 subscribers. Channels with similar sizes to like mine, those are the type of people that actually see your DMs and will respond. Don't DM me on Instagram, I already have sales reps. But a lot of people are just saying, oh, just use a email lead scraper and just scrape 5,000 emails and eventually someone will respond. Yes, that might be true, but the type of people that are responding to copy paste emails are not the type of people you want to work for. You will make no money with them. So next step, the biggest thing possible is going to be once they actually open your messages and they understand who you are, once you go through these 4 things right here, you're going to want to send them a quick little video. So once they respond to you like this, you're going to want to immediately send them anywhere from a 20 to 30 second video. In the last video I made talking about high ticket sales outreach, I said anywhere from 1 minute to 3 minutes. It has completely changed. People's brains are fried. So you need anywhere from 20 to a 30-second video, no slideshow, nothing, of just you talking straight like this. 10 times more increase in people actually watching it. That's what I've seen in the past couple months. That's like the biggest thing that has changed.
is people just want to see a video of you talking. They want to see the background. They want to see it raw. They don't want to see it all jazzed up inside of a presentation, because think about it. When you're actually doing high ticket sales calls, you're face to face, right? There's no presentation involved most of the time. So they want to see how you actually are going to talk. So I'm going to show you guys a few examples of really, really good face-to-face videos that you guys can potentially base your interviews off of. One of my students, Tanya, that just joined my program, Paid in Full, got 4 interviews within her first week joining Paid in Full program. So yeah, I know for a fact it works. So I'm going to show you guys an example right now.
My name is Tanya, Colorado, and my background spans many different industries. I've sold for 4 years total in health and fitness, consultative sales for HR software, executive coaching, real estate, and content marketing. I've invested in 2 sales mentors programs this year and completed one of them faster than any other student had in the program's history. I have sold train the train programs into Fortune 500s, fitness programs for women, content marketing for high ticket home service businesses, and I'm a real estate investor and media content creator. I grew sales for the Train the Trainer program from 15% of the company's revenues to over 30% and took the program international. My sales style is primarily consultative, emotional, and I do exceptionally well with ambitious, focused, and generous teams.
So Tanya uploaded this video to our software with a bunch of business owners hiring high ticket sales reps, Paid in Full 2.0. And she literally got 4 different interviews her first week with just that video. These business owners reached out to her personally, and she also applied to a few offers. As you guys can see, these were posted 5 minutes ago, 8 minutes ago, 5.2K a month, 8.1K a month, 10K a month closers needed. These are all business owners posting that they need high ticket sales reps to hire today. Yesterday at 3:09 p.m., offer number 1, she was offered to me after an interview, 5 to 7K a month, and she has 4 interviews to go. So it's ridiculous when you have a good video. Obviously, it's a unique situation because she's inside of our premium program where you have business owners reaching out to you. If you guys want to check that out, it's the second link in bio. But it just shows that having a good video will attract the right business owners if they get the eyeballs on it. This video is a little bit longer. It's a minute long. Straight through her experience, she has a good background. She's put together. She speaks well. It's a great example. So if you guys want to create a Loom video, this is a prime example of what you guys should show the business owner once they actually respond to you in email or DM after you've been through these first 4 steps right here. So this right here is going to be the updated version on how I would land an offer as soon as possible in 2026 and moving forward. The biggest difference is not doing the presentation slideshow because they don't really want to see that. They just want to see a full video of you talking, your experience, XYZ. If you don't have any experience, neither did Tanya. You can basically just say that you've been studying high ticket sales for the last 30 days over and over. You have a lot of experience in their specific niche. So for example, if you're selling for a fitness offer, to say, I've personally invested in fitness programs. I've studied fitness for the past 6 months. XYZ, just to let them know that you can speak the lingo. If you guys want access to that software I showed in this video, click the link down below, apply to see if you're a good fit. We don't accept everyone. There's a lot of high-level business owners in that software, so we don't just want anybody joining it. So if you guys want to apply to see if you're a good fit, if you're well-spoken, feel like you're going to be really good at sales, it'd be stupid not to apply. It also comes with high-ticket sales trainings, our scripts, everything you need to know about this industry. All I do on this channel is I talk about high-ticket sales and making money online and how to get out of your 9 to 5 or how to land a better high-ticket sales job. So if that's you, consider liking and subbing. Might be a good ROI for you if you're trying to take this industry serious. All right, so now you know the setting process, you know the closing process. Once you've been a setter and a closer for a long time, nobody wants to be on sales calls for the rest of their life. So the next good step is going into sales management, which is basically a leadership role that I went over in the beginning of this video. You can get an overall rev share of the entire team once you know the sales process in and out. I'm gonna give you guys the best traits of sales managers. So after you've been a setter and a closer, I'm gonna show you guys the next steps that if you want to go into a leadership role, you can do. If you're watching this video, your sales process most likely sucks, whether you know it or whether you don't. Whether you make $100,000 a month or $1 million a month, you are 100% leaving money on the table if you don't know about these few things I'm about to show you guys. You're wondering, why would I listen to this random kid in a hoodie? In the past 2 months with my own business, just implementing a few tiny small tweaks with my sales process, we've been able to add $30,000 a month in pure revenue with the same lead flow, with the same content, with the same marketing, with the same fulfillment, just with a little tweak on the sales process. I've also been one of the top performing sales reps for offers that do millions of dollars per month. So I know exactly what these people want, what they're looking for in the sales process of a super high performing sales team. So with that being said, the most valuable hire for your brand company, whether it's a software company, whether it's an info product company, is going to be your sales reps, okay? They are so insanely vital and a lot of people overlook this. So the $1 million question, is there a blueprint to hire killer sales reps? And it might surprise you, but the answer is yes. You probably have one of those sales reps on your team right now that you're just wishing like, oh dude, if I just had 10 of those guys, I'd make so much more money.
And you're 100% right. You just don't know how to hire them correctly. If you're looking for really top tier sales reps and you're not going to put any effort on your end, it's just not going to work. Okay. What I'm about to share with you takes a lot of work, but what I've seen from placing over 350 top performing salespeople across massive companies in the space, I've seen what an incredible sales process looks like. And I also know how to turn a good sales rep into an incredible one using this process. So I'm about to share this with you guys. Take notes on it if you're a business owner and want to increase your revenue through this process. Yeah, let's get into it. So number one, the most important aspect is onboarding and training. So many people miss this and then complain about how bad their sales team's performing when they didn't even onboard and train them correctly. They just expect other people to do it, third-party companies to do it, which there are companies that do that. I have one myself. But you shouldn't trust everyone, okay? Like, you still have to do the onboarding yourself if you're the business owner, because you know the business better than anyone else. So here's how I would properly go about the onboarding without like burning yourself out every single time you do it. So even though you've hired an experienced sales rep, you finally find someone you feel like is a good fit, they're still gonna be in the rookie stage, okay? You can't just throw them in the water yet. There has to be a few things you gotta go through with them. Number one is they should be listening to call recordings and live calls all day long. This should be their number one priority. They have to be listening to live calls and recordings all day long from top performers. Should be their number one priority. They have to have a KPI, whether it's like 10 sales calls a day they listen to. It's gonna default to the habits from their past jobs if they don't do this. So make sure to track this, okay? There are tools that allow you to truly see if they watch the recordings. Otherwise, they'll just get free time off and they're gonna suck. So that's very, very important. So make sure you track this part, whether they're doing, 10 call reviews a day with notes on the most important parts of the call. And also get them to work on the script. So alongside to listening to recordings, they should be reading the exact script that the person that's in the recording is using and taking notes on it. If they don't have a complete understanding of the script within this week, you can't start week 2. Okay, so this is so important, this rookie stage. I don't care how good the sales rep is. If you close $10 million, I don't care. They have to go through this process because every offer is a little bit different and you have to see what the top performers are doing so they can replicate it. Week 2 is gonna be semi-rookie. So this is basically the role play week. They're gonna sell to you or your sales manager, preferably you if you have time on your hands. But if you have a sales manager, they can do it to them as well. If you don't have a sales manager, you have to have a sales manager because you have too much on your plate. You're too busy building the funnels, making the decisions that a CEO should make. You have to have a sales manager. So when the other prospect's selling to you, review the highest impact thing they can improve on, they're messing up on. So for example, if they keep fucking up the discoveries, they're not finding the exact pain point that the prospect is looking for. So if you're training a closer, you want to break it down into step 1 is going to be the discovery process, right? So you want to make sure that the prospect is discovering. And if they're messing up a part of the discovery process, you communicate the issue, give them the correct example, and do it again with them right then and there and repeat it until it's perfect before you move on to the next thing. Discover it exactly correctly. And this is why a sales manager is important because you probably don't have time to do this. If you guys want to look into our sales management offer, you can do that as well. First link in bio. But yeah, just make sure that whatever issue they're doing, you go step by step within the sales call, whether it's discovery, whether it's future pacing, whatever the process is they're messing up on, you want to make sure that they're doing it. That is going to be completely week 2. Week 3, once you go through these 2 parts, they should be pretty much generally ready to go if your sales manager did it correctly. Week 3 is kind of half pro. This is where they start doing live calls. You get them on a half schedule, okay? You don't want your sales reps to burn all your leads. That's not worth it for you. So they're just gonna do a live call for half the day, okay? The second half of the day, they're gonna review those live calls that they did. Key is you're going to want to track during this part. Tracking is so important because you can never know what actually works if you don't track it. So you're gonna want to meet up with them 2 times a day. When I say you, I mean either you or your sales manager. In those meetings, you're gonna want to make sure that they're aligned on the goals, make sure they're motivated and train them. Review the calls they had, give advice and role play, okay? Motivate and train. That is your job here as a sales manager. That is basically what I'm talking to. I'm talking to the sales manager here, but if you're a business owner, this is what you should be showing your sales manager. Week 4 is pro, okay? This is where they should be independent. You can meet up with them once a week, but you got to keep on tracking to make sure they're performing at their best, okay? And this is how you do it. This is a 4-week process. I know it's a little bit lengthy, but once you go through this process, you're gonna have a killer. You're gonna have an absolute killer that's gonna stay with you for years and years if you do it correctly, okay? So part number 2 is gonna be team culture. So vital and important. If you do step 1 and skip this one, you're gonna have sales reps that are lazy and complacent, sales reps that work the minimum just to keep the job. And if you master this step, you're gonna get sales reps that love what you do, are trusted in the vision, and are always gonna wanna keep making more money and improving. So communication and tracking, very important. You wanna motivate them daily. Our salespeople are high performing athletes that need to be in the best mood at the start of the day. They need to be caffeinated, they need to be motivated, and they need to be ready to understand that there are incentives if they do well. They probably had an argument with their wife, they got stuck in traffic, something probably happens. These are people at the end of the day, so you gotta make sure they're in the best mood every day by checking up on them, doing daily morning calls, sending them a text every morning, doing something to keep them motivated. So quick tip, go over testimonials in the program regularly. It's gonna allow the sales reps to feel like they're part of something bigger, right? If you're getting crazy testimonials every day, like, dude, this is changing my life. You know, I just lost 50 pounds. I can finally do this. I'm going to live longer. The sales reps are going to be super inclined and they're going to have a lot more conviction in what they sell. Salespeople can get into the habit of feeling like they're kind of the bad guy or kind of a scumbag because a lot of sales reps have, you know, terrible reputations, how the industry is. So if you're getting constant testimonials from the program that you run, that's going to make them feel like they're really doing good for the world and actually convicted in what they're selling. And remember the reason why they're selling. You want someone to push through the nose because they believe in the products and not because they just want to, you know, scum their way to a commission check. Okay, that's not the type of sales reps you want. And then the second part is going to be tracking. Okay, you want to talk to your salespeople regularly. Okay, one call a week, everyone gets together, they review the worst call they had, the best one they had, and an average one they had. If they're going below performance KPIs, they should go back to being a trainee, back to the baby steps, and if they don't improve in 2 weeks, they're out. Okay, obviously you have to have good communication with your employees, you have to have good culture. But at the end of the day, if they don't improve in 2 weeks and they suck and they're not doing KPIs, they're not a good fit. Okay, they got to go. So team culture and competition. So it kind of gets a little dicey here because you don't want the sales reps to kind of start to hate each other, which I've seen a lot happen on, you know, sales teams and stuff like that because they're taking commission from each other and whatnot. You guys want to have a team culture together where you guys are a team and you're aiming to beat someone else, not each other, right? So you want to find a competitor or find someone, you know, hypothetically that does a similar business. The goal is to crush them, right? Or crush the KPI goals you had. You want to have excellent culture and really clear and strict standards, okay? If they don't close their first 10 deals, obviously they suck. If they don't clean up their pipeline, they're obviously lazy, they suck, fire them. And if they don't even try to show up to the sales meetings, fire them. It's not a good fit, okay? This is really, really important. This even applies if they're the best on the team. If they're not giving their full effort, they're not a good fit. You have to have clear and strict standards, and you have to let the sales team know. This really gets across clear standards of what you guys are looking for, okay? Clear and updated leaderboard of all time. This is me getting a $43,000 commission check and closing at a 57% rate for one of my offers when I was a full-time closer. To show you guys I've really done this, just flex real quick. A clear and updated leaderboard of all time, okay? This can increase their productivity by 30% because constantly they're just looking at the commission checks, they're looking at their close rate. So it's very, very important that they do super well. All right, salespeople are competitive by nature, so you need to provide them that competitive environment, right? Every single day you walk in your CRM, it should say, you know, Colby, Jeffrey, John, and they can look at it every day to try to compete. Money is the direct motivator. This can also bring something that they brag about. So do some sort of competitions, incentives, whatever, pair people up. So if you have 2 setters, 2 closers, do a competition. Okay, the top performing setter and closer combo gets $500, gets a free pair of AirPods, whatever it is. Do some sort of incentive so they can kind of compete with each other. Then cut the bottom 10% each quarter, okay? If you're not, you're communicating that it's okay to suck. If you're not cutting your shittiest sales reps every single quarter, you're just letting them know that they can do the bare minimum. So for the job application and interview, there's a few tips that you should do when hiring sales reps. I recommend one of these 2. Post job applications in LinkedIn. It's the basic way that everyone uses. I bet you've heard it thousands of times. Or if you really want to get good sales reps, go to high ticket sales training programs. And no, I don't mean those fucking kids that are buying Lamborghinis talking about, I made $100,000 a month as a closer. They're going to attract the really young, shitty sales reps. You need the reputable people that actually have good programs that actually care about their students, okay? I have a software myself with over 2,800 sales reps that are trained and ready to go. If you guys want access to find sales reps from there, click the second link in my bio. I'll give you guys access to that. But make sure to be clear on the compensation, the type of person you're looking for, OTEs and KPIs, and don't lie about the OTEs because the sales reps are gonna know and they're not gonna trust you and the work that they'll be doing. So just be completely honest in the job post and you're gonna attract good quality sales reps. So if you missed this part of the interview is very, very important. If you mess this up, you're just gonna be wasting everyone's time. You're gonna lose your business money and you're gonna be mad that you didn't try harder on the interview. If they're slow to respond to the interview, if they show up late to the interview, they're probably gonna be slow with your leads. I like the concept of a person that does something somewhere, does it everywhere. So if they're slow, if they're not really responding fast, if they aren't really well groomed on the call, I wouldn't even hire them. These are personally some big things that I look for myself. Number 2 is know what you're looking for. Okay, I personally look for someone who listens, not someone who just doesn't shut up and doesn't stop talking. You want someone who listens and asks questions, someone that wants long-term vision and not someone that just keeps yapping. Okay, you need someone who listens. That's very, very important. And here's how to measure that. Okay, I ask them to role play and I give feedback on it. If they can take feedback with no ego, if you give them a little tip and they take it with no ego, perfect. If not, you've got no business to do with them. Anyone with ego in sales is the worst possible sales rep you can get. They're always going to feel like they deserve the best leads, this and that. Don't ever hire people like that. I don't care if they have 10 million sold. If they have a huge ego, I would not hire them. And then the last part about the interview is ask questions. I see a lot of people asking random questions. Use a structured set of questions. So you're not just chatting, you're literally tracking the questions that you're saying and you're benchmarking candidates side by side to see who's gonna be the best fit. So here's a quick little rundown of what I would do if I was hiring, managing, and actually incentivizing sales reps for your business. Whether it's a AI software business, an info product coaching business, anything, the rules apply everywhere. I'm gonna be dropping videos on sales process every single week.
All right, it is about 9 o'clock. I've been working on this video all day and I somehow forgot to record an outro, so I'm just gonna do it right here. But thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said in this video multiple times, if you guys want guaranteed high ticket sales job opportunities and really intense training, click the link down below for paid in full VIP. But regardless, hopefully you guys got some value from this video, and consider liking and subbing and saving this video for later if you want to rewatch it. Also, if you made it this far, drop a comment and say one thing that you learned throughout this video. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in a few days.